Hello.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
Wonderful.
I'm so
Good,
glad
how
you're
are
here.
you?
We'll give everyone a second to come on in. I'm feeling Western tonight, so that's what we're doing. That's the vibe. I'm just trying to have a fun Friday. I'm gonna try not to talk like that the whole stream because I don't know, just whenever I have the hat on, I should just talk like that the whole stream. Why
You
not?
kind of look like you are a Mexican.
I've never been called a Mexican before, so I can't say that that's offensive. I mean, I love Mexicans. I just feel like I would really want to.
You're going to like a Mexican rodeo.
Hell yeah. I was actually just at a rodeo last weekend. It was pretty fun.
Oh, good. Yeah, rodeos are the best. I fucking love them.
But it was a rodeo in LA because I was at the Long Beach Libertarian Party convention. And it was like everybody knew the dances because, like, you know how LA is. Like, everyone is just like, "Oh, I'm better than you." It was like one of those rodeos where they go during the dances, so that like on Friday night they can go to the rodeo and they like know the dances. And I'm like, this is fucking annoying. I'm here from out of town and I'm just trying to two-step, and y'all motherfuckers are doing complicated shit. But it was still fun.
You should go learn the dances.
What?
There's a place like that in near where I am, and like everyone knows all the fucking like line dances.
Right. I guess you just have to like go and like learn them. Like that's just what you're supposed to do.
That's how it works. Yeah, you have to go and you have to learn them.
That's also, how you learn. Did you have your phone like on you? No, I was just gonna say if one of you so you're not talking, not just because like the car sound.
Oops,
sorry, we're women. We're women. We're still figuring this out.
I hate technology so much lately.
Yeah.
It pisses me the fuck off.
Sorry, everyone. We're giving everybody a second to hop on into this rodeo and then come hang out.
There we go.
I apologize if I freeze or come in and out. I'm in the car driving to Seattle right now, so if you lose me, that's why.
Seattle before? I've never been to Seattle. How is it? Have you been there?
It's good. I've spent a lot of time in Seattle. I mean, it's nice. It's kind of like Portland. It's just rainy and
it's just a city.
Liberal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. Well, I'm personally very excited because my favorite people, not only on Liberty Twitter, but in real life, are together doing a live stream with me right now. And it's fucking great. My two favorite people. So welcome Forest Mommy to the fucking Liberty Ladies live stream. She's like the #1 Liberty lady. We love her.
Stop it. Thank you for inviting me.
So thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank you.
It's gonna be a hot mess tonight.
I know. I saw your picture that you posted where you were like, I'm getting a legit setup later. And it's so funny because like I bring like 2 tables in. I put my light on one table. I have my laptop. It's just like so ghetto. But I was like, I feel that. Like you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I'm gonna upgrade it, but it works for now sometimes.
Exactly. People love it. They watch it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm hoping all my simps are gonna come watch.
They will. I don't really, honestly, the viewer count on this thing is like very faulty, so I don't even pay attention to it anymore.
I've been on it before, yeah, where there's like at least 25 people on. So
wow, there you go. Yeah, I try to not even. I just pretend that the world is watching me and just fucking make a fool of myself. That's all you gotta do.
That's why you're the best. You're so much fun to be around. I love your spirit, and you're so young. And you're like. Just like confident in what it is, and you're like, "This is me, motherfuckers. Take it or fucking leave it."
A lot of people hate you for that. Like, just I have a lot of people on Twitter that just like genuinely hate me, and it's weird, but I don't know. You get used to it, I guess, because I know like all the people that I've met in real life, like I'm just fucking chilling. I'm usually just sitting there fucking hitting my jewel, and people come up to me and they're like, hey, what's up? I'm just chill. Like, I'm not going around running a train on everybody all the time, you know? Like, I'm just
Mommy is. That's what mommy does. Mommy's a train runner.
No comment. But yeah, I think I feel like more, I don't know, you are old enough to be my actual mother. Not quite Hannah's mom, because she's like 2 years older than me, but like you are actually old
You're
enough.
the cutoff.
Not quite, because she's an old bitch.
She is. I will never dox her age, but she acts like she's 20 at heart, so that's all that matters.
Too funny. I was gonna ask you, how was the Libertarian California thing?
It was cool. I had fun. Like, it wasn't bad, but so I felt really bad because I've never been a part of the Libertarian Party where we were like actually voting on shit. And I went to an ANCAP party a few months back, and my friend Adrian, he is the northern region coordinator. Shout out to him. He's the best. Love him. He was like,
he's a Nazi. We're all Nazis, right?
Oh yeah, no, literally. And he's
I want to hear all about that too.
No, that was so fucking crazy because people were actually going around the convention, like handing out flyers saying that like Mises Cockies was like Nazis. And I'm like, they're literally not. And like, this is my issue with it, is that like, I've been to libertarian conventions before, and like everybody there is very fucking cringe. And then I go again this year, and it was like a lot chiller of a crowd, like people that I would actually want to hang out with. Like, I fuck with their vibe, and they happen to all be like Mises Caucus. And I'm not saying that like that's the best caucus, but I'm like, look, I'm looking at the facts. Nobody has ever gotten me involved in the voting except for Adrian. And like, he was like, hey, just come and vote, you know, like, I was like, whatever, I'll do whatever you want me to. Like, I want to support the homie. I really don't care about voting. And I would not have voted if he didn't get me involved. And the first day I felt so bad because they were voting on like bylaws, which is like basically laws within the party. And it was so fucking cringe. Like, I was there for the morning, and then I went to get lunch, and after that I just did not come back, and I felt so bad. I texted him that night and I was like, Adrian, I am so sorry. I tried to be there, but it was just like fucking with my energy. Like, I literally hated it. And she'll come back. She's in and out. But I was like, I literally fucking hated being there. And he was like, don't worry about it. Like, bylaws are, you know, it doesn't matter. I'm glad you still came and you tried. He's like, just be there tomorrow, because that's when you're actually like voting for people. And I was like, oh, that's what I came to. I came to vote for you. I came to vote for our friends. You know, like, that's what I came here for. And he was like, okay, just come tomorrow. So I was there all day, like Sunday, doing the voting. But I did feel really bad because I really did fucking try. I really did. But it was just like not my thing.
No, that's what's so sad about the political process, and even the Libertarian Party is all this bullshit. So much time gets wasted on that bullshit, which I understand it. I understand the utility of it or whatever, but it's like so much time gets wasted on that shit, and that's what pushes so many people away.
Yeah, it does. It pushes a lot of people away, and like a majority of people don't actually know like what you're even talking about. You know, like I had no idea what any of the, like, I basically asked like Angela McCardle and like Adrian, I was like, just tell me what the fuck to vote on and I'll vote on it. And like they did. And I was really trying my best to help them. But that first day I was like, I just cannot do this, because like I'm an anarchist at heart. Like, I want to abolish politics system that we have right now and start a new one. And it's just like, I could not do it. I could not be there. And Adrian understood, and he was like, do not worry about it. You're fine. As long as you're going to be here tomorrow, then like, that's all that matters. And I was like, yes, I will be here tomorrow to vote. And I did vote. I was there all day Sunday. Every time I had a break, I would go up to my room and take a shot, and that's fine. But like, I hate politics. And that's just the hard part about trying to get involved in your local LP, is because like, I can't get past like my hatred for politics. But you know,
I think if you go into it with thinking like, that's my thing, is like, yeah, I'm anarchist at heart, and I fucking do not believe in the political process. But right now I have the time and energy, and they obviously need people like us who are fun and easy to get along with. They need like us being in, so it's like, I'll throw some energy towards it, and like,
for sure. And it was
doesn't
cool
do anything, whatever. But.
Yeah. And like my friends who I had been meeting that were like cool, they like, I went out to dinner with them that night, and they were like, please do not feel bad. Like, we understand where you're coming from, but we also want you to know that like what you are doing right now, it does matter. And so they were like, hopefully next year, maybe that can like change your perspective on it a little bit. Like, we know it's cringe. We hate it too. We are not mad at you for not voting on bylaws, but like, just know that like right now, this is what we have to do. And we're trying to make a difference. And I was like, okay, I fuck with that. You know, it was cool. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I saw Dave Smith again.
Oh my God, that was so. I remember you telling me about your guys' ride home, and you're like, you hate women because you welcome them.
No, but he's so cool. Can we talk about for a second? How do we all feel about the hands in pocket picture? You guys saw that tweet, right? Can we get honest thoughts on that?
I didn't see it.
Okay, so
very appropriate.
Justin Amash and Dave Smith, I went up to them inebriated because this was at like 10 o'clock at night, and I was like, hey, can I get a picture with you? And they were like, sure. And I handed my friend the phone, and I basically leaned in for the picture, and they had their hands in their pockets. And like, I don't know about you guys, but like for me, I have daddy issues. Like, I don't touch men. Like, it makes me uncomfortable. So I was like, I'm not gonna touch them. I'm not gonna. And they did not touch me either. And it was just like really funny because Twitter was like, they're trying not to get like me too because they did not touch me. And I don't know. I kind of found it respectful, to be honest. Like, I just thought it was hilarious because like both Justin Amash, Dave Smith, who are like married men high up in the community, like they did not even reach out to touch me if I did not initiate it. And honestly, I fuck with that. Like, shout out to them. That's very respectful, you know?
Yeah, you know.
I think it's good, and I think that they also like it gets them like not ever in a situation where they could get in trouble with anybody. Like,
exactly.
They're not gonna be like, oh, this dude's being creepy and touching girls. Like, they were zooming in on all of Trump's pictures and shit. Like, I just feel like it's like a safety net.
Right. And it was different because I met Scott Horton in Arizona, but I had actually had like a 10-minute conversation with him. And then I was like, hey, can we take a picture? And so like I did the reach out thing and he did, but that's like different when you're actually like having a conversation with somebody. But it was like, if I go up to this like random married man who does not know me, I like do not want to touch them, and I do not want them to touch me. But I just thought it was so funny because like it was just a thing. It got like 600 likes. I was like, we love hands in pocket kings, and I like circled how they both had their hands in their pockets, and they were like not trying to touch me. But it's great. We love that. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to Dave Smith. Anyone who has a problem with him, you're stupid. He's great. And that's really all I have to say about the situation.
Yeah, that situation's so silly. That's what's so funny. And they wrote that in that flyer they're handing out. They're like, Dave, did you know 12 shots can kill a woman? And I'm like, right. Dave, they're like, Dave Smith has been to convention. It's just like, who the fuck wrote this? Like who the fuck had the ideas? Like, so lame. So like,
the people who wrote that are the people who are keeping the people who wrote that are the people that the Libertarian Party right now is still cringe, and nobody takes it seriously.
Right, you know, they're dorky losers that no one likes, and not in a mean way. I don't mean that in a mean way because everyone's an individual, and you can like the most dorkiest loser person sometimes, but these ones especially are not likable.
Very, very, and it's sad because it's really like I make jokes about like autism convention and shit, but like. It's really sad that that's what the LP is. Hannah, I'm curious, have you been like are you involved anywhere like locally in your LP, or like where do you stand with like local politics? Do you go to this shit or like?
No, so I haven't like gone to any like conventions or anything. I registered as an independent last year, so like which is stupid. I know that I like now need to re-register as a Republican, which is annoying to vote in primaries and stuff. Like we're having a governor vote this year to get rid of Kate Brown, thank God. And like in order to vote in the primary for that, I have to be a Republican. So I don't know. I've thought about getting involved, but it's honestly like I don't know. We all know the troubles with the Libertarian Party. It is what it is. It's hard to feel like, you know.
Yeah. And
doing anything productive.
The thing that made me motivated to actually like get involved in the local LP was Angela McArdle, and she's not my local LP, but she's LA, and she is actually the person that started the petition locally to get vax mandates overturned in LA County, and she needs to get 65,000 signatures, and she is fucking doing it. And that's why then it pisses me off because there's like all this shit going on in the Bay Area. And I'm like, why the fuck are you guys not trying? Why is my LP here not trying? And so that's when I was like, when I saw what Angela was doing, I was like, okay, maybe we can actually like make a difference locally. And I'm not saying like we're going to get elected to president, but I was like, if Angela can do it, we can do it too, up here where I am in San Jose, the Bay Area, right?
It takes
so
a lot of work. It just takes the work of someone who's going to be doing it, because it's for free too. Yeah. Like, you're doing it for free.
But she's so fucking great. I love Angela. I endorse Angela for vice chair. I believe what she's running for. This is my public state. Also, she's the best. I texted the Discord on like Sunday morning or whatever it was, or Saturday morning. I was like, sorry guys, I missed a little. I just threw up. And she was like, come with me. I'm gonna get you a vitamin water. Because I was so hungover. And she got me a vitamin water. Like she's the best. I love Angela McArdle. Whatever direction the LP, whatever she wants to take it, I am with her. And that's all I have to say. Because I don't fucking know much about politics, but just seeing what she's doing, I support that. And that's really all I have to say about it. Like, she's the best. So that she inspired me to get involved more locally, and I'm glad I could go and make a difference and vote where it matters. But yeah, that's really it. It was great. It was a great time. So
side note, I just saw someone on the freeway. I'm on 205 going up to Washington, and there was just someone standing in the middle of the freeway, like in the center divider thing, with a big Ukraine flag, like just and an American flag just waving, like by themselves.
We need to talk about World War III for a second, because let's just, I don't know, would anybody like to start and give their thoughts on that? Because my God, I don't really have any thoughts on it, and I feel like that's why people are mad at me right now. So
I don't know. I don't know enough to have like. All I know, the only thing I've said is like, I know stealing from people to build war machines is wrong. Whoever the fuck you are.
So I had a question, because I know that you're older. So like me, when 9/11 happened,
thanks.
I didn't mean it like that in a rude way.
I'm kidding.
I know. But so like when 9/11 happened for me, I was like 4 years old, and my mom kept me home from preschool that day. And I like vividly still remember the day of 9/11 happening, even though I was 4. Hannah, you were like 5 or 6. Like, where were you when 9/11 happened?
I was in kindergarten, and school hadn't started yet or anything. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I remember for some reason, my parents had both taken vacation that week, like just because. So they were both home with us. And yeah, we just like, I remember seeing it on the news and like watching everything. And then like school got canceled. And yeah, I mean, I was only in kindergarten though.
Right. But you don't remember like the significant impact of what it had. And then, so I guess because you were maybe in like high school, I don't know, like Forrest Mommy, what was your like 9/11 experience? And like, how did that do anything to get you more involved in like politics or having your stance on like anarchism and like where you are today?
No, it definitely didn't like do anything to shape me how I am today. I was a senior in high school, so I didn't really know what was going on. I just wasn't politically involved at that age, and like I knew it was big, and like, but I actually, so like when you guys were a little bit older, like in like 2006 or 7, there was this documentary that was on YouTube. YouTube was new then too. And like it was all about, and it was like basically a conspiracy theory video. So like when I was a little bit out of high school, that's when I started kind of like figuring it out. And then, I saw this whole thing about 9/11. I didn't think about it like that at all.
Well, what did you think like the day that it happened? Like, what was going through your head?
I was just wild. It was wild. I heard it literally because I drove a truck and it only had an AM radio, so I had to listen to talk radio. That's why I like love podcasts now. I like was raised on talk radio.
Right.
But I was driving to school, like, so it was, pretty early Colorado times. We're 2 hours behind, and they said, oh, airplane hit. And then we watched it all day in school and all that. And like, it felt heavy. The one thing I know, this is what made me like, I remember back then there would people be like, oh, my sister's aunt's uncle's ex-wife was maybe in the building. So like, I always realized, okay, people want to like connect themselves to tragedy that they're not necessarily connected to. But I didn't think about it as in the political. I knew we had been at war with the Middle East, now with Scott Horton. Now I'm actually educated on it, but I didn't know all that back then, obviously. So,
well, that's like my thing on it. And it's like, I get that, when I don't know things, I do enjoy sharing it on Twitter, because I do feel like it kind of fits my brand to be like the dumb blonde and like make these jokes about it. But like, this is my thing is like, for me, I've always hated the government, and I've talked about this before. And it took until I was older to understand that, like, hey, when you study the history of the government and like the Federal Reserve, and then realizing when that happened, we actually sold the government to the banks. And that's like, I've always known that shit, but like, it took until I was older, like 22, to like really study the history behind it. And I don't think that there was anything iconic enough. I get like, not iconic like in a good way, I'm sorry for saying that term, something that just that really made you have to like sit there and like be like, wow, wait, this is like a big deal. I feel like you have to actually go through something in order to like realize, wait, maybe I should know foreign policy. Maybe I should understand this fucking history. And there's never been anything in my lifetime, because like I said, I was 4 years old when 9/11 happened. Like, I don't fucking know shit and then I've grown up with the Iraq war. You know, it wasn't like something that I ever just saw that there was a deal behind it, because it's just like what I grew up with. I never thought. So I don't know, I feel like you have to have that moment in your life where like, wait, I need to like take a step back and like actually realize like why this is happening. And that's like right now what's happening for me with like foreign policy and this Ukraine and Russia shit. It has never been something that I have felt that I needed to educate myself on. And that's just maybe ignorance, maybe me living a privileged life. That's just the truth. Like, I've never felt like it was important until now. And so now I'm like trying to take a step back and be like, wait, in this moment, if we're starting World War III, like, why is this happening? And I know I'm getting roasted a lot, but it's the truth. You know, you have to kind of go through that thing yourself to be like, wait, this is important. And that's where I'm at now. And so it's like, I don't know, you know, like, well, Hannah, I also feel like you know more about this shit than me. Like, what made you interested in that? Because we're kind of at the same age, and you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I did actually, like, I was young when it happened. Stop. Sorry. We're in the car.
Look at Backseat Driver.
We love a wife that does that.
It's our job. It's our job.
Anyway, so I'm getting my thoughts back together.
Yeah,
I felt like I was like formed a lot from like 9/11 and the Iraq War and stuff. Like, my parents they never like shoved politics down our throat, but it was always something that we talked about in our house because it was important. Like, I don't know, like, just support at that time, you know, with support the troops. And like, my parents are very much probably what you could classify as like neocons. So they were all about like, you know, intervention and very highly interested in what's going on overseas. And
yes.
I don't know, it formed me like young, as when I was young, and I just feel like as I become like a libertarian and become older and gone away from like the neocon like side, I'm more interested in it now on like, how can America like not be involved? Like, how minimally can we be involved to still keep shit like okay and keep the peace and whatever? But really, like, I'm pretty non-interventionalist now, and I'm like, we don't need to be sending people, you know, overseas to fight in wars that aren't beneficial to the average American, like, not to, you know, all of the people who are getting contracts in wars and all the fucking people who get rich off of wars. Like,
Yeah.
I have a very different view of it, and like, I think that a lot of my view of it does come from just like being a child of 9/11 and of the Iraq War and just growing up with it, and that's just what's normal. Like, it shouldn't be normal, and that's sort of my takeaway from it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess for me too, it's like I said, I've been like woke since I was very young, but like war for me, it was, I'm sorry, it's gonna sound very like spiritual and stupid and like dumb, but like, I was like 14, 15, like sitting around like smoking weed with my friends, and that's kind of like what gave me the view on the world today. And then again, when I got older, I started actually understanding the history behind it, but I was just like, war is so stupid. Like, all these people, they're just like low vibrational beings to the point that they have to like hate each other, and all that does is like control their citizens, and they're vibrating at that level so that like there is war, and like war keeps everyone controlled. And so that's why I was like, the actual details of the war, like I don't care, because it's all the same stupid fucking shit. It's all just a way to have their civilians killed, control their civilians, get people to sign up for the military, and the people to sign up to be like, oh, I'm fucking fighting for my country, and like they think they're actually doing something important. And it's like, this fucking 1% is like planning all this shit out. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised. And like, again, I'm way more, I think, on the conspiracy end than Hannah is. But if it's like Biden and Putin were like texting and being like, haha, let's start that war now, and they'd be like, okay, and then like they do all that shit, you know, like that's just how I felt like war is. It's just like stupid, it's fucking dumb. And like now I'm trying to like sit back and be like, okay, well, there's still facts to it, but it's just stupid. Like, just stop fighting.
Yeah, it sucks. So I graduated in 02, and we basically went, I'm going to get my booze real quick. But I graduated 02, so basically everyone from my grade, like a shit ton of kids from my grade signed up and went to war right away. They like literally went to war right after high school. Right. And like then they've been in war this whole fucking time. It's just it's just so dumb. Like you said, it's so dumb. And then we pulled out of Afghanistan, and it was a fucking waste and all this shit. Those 20 years, how many fucking people died there? How many fucking American kids died in Afghanistan for it to be
so many? Yeah.
For them to leave all this shit there, then they just left everything fucking there. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And I don't know. It's just, it's so silly and stupid. The whole concept of war, I feel like the whole concept of war is what the reptilian elite use to like keep control of people. You know, I mean, I feel like you're just like such a chill person that you're like, I'm not quite a conspiracy theorist, but I'm also not quite like not a conspiracy theorist. But it's just like, me and you, we're very, very chill people. And it's just like, we're the type that want to just like sit down with Putin and Biden and be just like, chill the fuck out, like smoke some fucking weed,
just punch them. They need to be domed. They need to be domed and put in their fucking place.
Yeah. And it's just like all the shit that they're doing, it's to just like control people. And that's what all war is. It's to have power and control people. And I don't care the history behind Ukraine and Russia or the NATO. I don't fucking even know what NATO stands for. I'm starting to understand that it was something that happened after World War II to like make sure that another world war ever happened. But like, this is the other fucking thing that I was getting roasted for. Okay, Forest Mommy, for a second, can you tell me what you know about nuclear bombs?
I know they're bad. I know we used them against Japan. I know like they've been building them forever. They used to build plutonium triggers by my house, but that's all shut down now.
Right.
That's about it.
That's what I'm saying. Because like,
I know they're like, you should know everything about nuclear bombs, Sarah. I mean, you dumbass.
Fucking scientists, like Jesus Christ! I did not pay attention in school. I fucking know the periodic table is a thing. Apparently, nuclear is not something that someone invented. It's like something that already exists. But like Albert Einstein or some scientists like discovered the way to make it, and I'm just like,
reaction between elements,
right? Like he discovered the reaction between the elements or whatever. I don't even know if it was Albert Einstein. I'm not saying quote me on that. It was some scientist, but it was like he discovered like how to make it, and then after that, in World War II, apparently they needed to bomb Japan in order to get the war to stop. But like when they bombed Japan in like Hiroshima, and there was like another one, like they dropped a bomb and it killed like over 100,000 people, and I'm like, that's so fucking sad. And I get what people are trying to tell me. They're like, well, you have to understand logistically that if they didn't drop that bomb, more people would have died. And I'm like, I get that, but it's like the fact that human civilization even has to be at that point, like that's fucking depressing.
Do you like documentaries and stuff?
I do like documentaries. Yeah.
There's one, write this down. It's called The Fog of War. And so it basically is about, so I haven't actually watched it since I've been more anarchist. I need to watch it again. But it's basically there's this guy named McNamara. It's the people who made the decision to drop these bombs, which that's a big fucking decision to make, and that was it was a terrible fucking decision. So it's called The Fog of War, and it kind of follows them, and they're older, obviously, and talking about it, but it's like, I'm of there was no fucking reason to do that. Even people say, well, it could have killed people, more of us could have died. I'm like, yeah, just like more, your COVID could have been worse if you didn't have your fucking vaccine, or it's like that kind of shit.
It's just like all the same shit. It's like people want to rationalize these things that in the first place are so fucking retarded. And I think that's what pisses me off. It's like, you're really rationalizing to me why a nuclear bomb was a good idea. Like, do you understand how low fucking human vibration and energy is to have nuclear bombs in order to stop things that are worse than that? Like,
it's hard for people like us to wrap our mind around, because we're
right, because we're just like not at that level. We're just like such chill.
Even like when you're getting pulled into drama, it's too much for you. Like, you don't want to fight. You don't want to fucking fight. Like, we don't want to fight. And there's these people with fucking bombs that can kill like everybody, and they want to fight.
And I don't think I ever really understand. And this was another thing too. Okay, so someone tweeted me, and they were like, I was about the nuclear bomb, one of my nuclear bomb tweets, and they were like, this is the most naive tweet I've ever seen. And then I quoted it, and I was like making a joke. I was like, oh,
I think I told that guy to fuck off.
No, really. I was like, Liberty thought makes a naive tweet. Who would have thought? But then he privately DM'd me, and he was like, hey, I just want you to understand like why I said that. I wasn't like criticizing you personally for being naive, but apparently he had a family that like back in the day, I don't know what war it was, but they had like procedures to hide from a nuclear bomb. And he was just like, it's crazy to me that you live in such a different world that like you don't know that actual people that still existed, like my grandparents had to go through that. He's just like, he didn't mean naive in a rude way. It was more like, holy shit, it was like a very first world problem, basically what he was trying to say to me. And so like that kind of put it into perspective for me. And it was like, okay, I understand what you're saying, that like, yes, I am privileged. I live in the fucking Bay Area. Like, that's never been something I had to worry about. But it's like, why would the fact that anybody ever had to worry about nuclear bombs, like that fucks with me. Like, why? That's so sad. The fact that your grandparents had to have like nuclear bomb procedures, like, what are you going to do if there's a nuclear bomb? Where are you going to go? Like, that's really sad. And I don't like that that's where society is at. Like, it's just really
is Martha your mom? Is Martha your mom?
Yeah.
You said, Sarah, your grandpa flew over Hiroshima after the bomb fell. He was in World War II.
Yeah. My grandpa was in World War II. My grandpa was I believe 18 when he got drafted. So
God damn it.
And thankfully he survived the World War. I'm here today, but yeah, it's crazy. It's it's just like a reality that, and I do always sit back and I will like think for a second about my privilege in many, many ways. Because I am like really very privileged. Like I am. Yeah. So it's like, I'll try to sit back and think like, wow, your life is really fucking good that you never had to grow up and worry about nuclear bombs, like bombing your school. But it's like, it's hard it's like, you can't expect me to understand it like how I grew up, and like I do really sit back and I'm like, wait, I need to self-reflect for a second. Like, there's people
That's how you learn. That's how we learn in life.
Yeah. Like, and I do sit back and I will accept my privilege and understand that I just don't know. So it's not like I'm like ungrateful for my situation. I'm very, very grateful, but it's just like, you can't expect someone like me to know what it was like to grow up with nuclear bombs. It's not something that I really even learned about. And even if I learned about it in school, it was like, oh, war, whatever. I don't care about war. War is stupid. Like, I wasn't really paying attention, I guess. So I don't know.
Our brains, we're not supposed to know all that we know. We all know too much and we all get too much information, especially people like, we're too pretty to know all this shit, first of all. Like, second of all, drink to that.
Literally. That's literally what it is. I don't know. I guess I will make a public apology for not being stupid, but just like, I don't like apologizing for privilege because I feel like you can't help if you were born into that situation, just like you can't help if you were born into North Korea. So again, I will apologize for my privilege of being uneducated because I never needed to take the time to educate myself on war and like nuclear bombs. Like that's never been a thing that has been in my fucking mind at all. And I am going to take the time to learn and like try to educate myself and better myself on the situations. And it's not that I don't feel bad for people in Ukraine. It's just like, you know, like what am I?
And we don't know. We don't even fucking really know what's going on.
We don't
like,
know. The world is just very shitty. How do you stay like white pilled in all of this shit? You know, because I feel like you're such a positive person. Like, how do you stay white pilled and be so positive all the time?
I think just because I know I made my life good, so I'm like, if I could have made my dumbass life good, then anybody can, and like we really can. God, I don't know. And I like to be pretty and slutty, so that helps.
Oh, me too, girl. We are the same person. Like I've said many times, you are me in like 16 years. Like we are the same person. But
I know. I wish I was like I was confident at your age, but I wish I was like at your level at your age. So you're doing great. Like you're already like ahead of the curve. You're on it. I don't know. I stay positive just because, like you said, like we are privileged, and like out of all the shit that could have gone, even with the last 2 years, overall, our lives weren't terrible. We weren't like dodging bombs. There weren't like fucking,
right.
suicide bombers on our streets or something like that other people actually really have to deal with.
Right.
So I don't know if
how do you get yourself to like say, you know, you feel bad for the people that are being suicide bombed, but then also know that you are privileged and that's just not your life and you just can't let it like how have you found that balance of being able to just be like, yes, I'm privileged and people's life sucks, but I'm not going to let it affect mine without being like, conceited and cocky, I guess, you know, and like.
But I like being conceited and cocky.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. No,
no
I don't. I think just because my upbringing was, I think it just has to do with like my life in people's lives. My upbringing was so down to earth and like earthy and shit. And then I think that's part of who I am now that keeps me kind of balanced with, I don't know, but it's also a daily thing. Like some days I'm so dark. I feel so dark. I feel like shit is so bad. And like, but I don't know. Drugs, alcohol, too. If you're sober, no. But if you aren't, it helps.
It really does help. I've never been completely sober on a single one of the live streams, but do you ever feel bad for like being born like, I mean, I don't know your upbringing, I don't know how you grew up like, you know, as a kid, like if you, but for me, I've had a pretty fucking good life, to be honest. Like, you know, my dad paid the bills, we live in the Bay Area, like I've had like we are not rich, don't get me wrong, not rich at all, but let me just say I've never had to worry about putting food on the table. Like, do you ever feel bad about that? Like, am I supposed to feel bad about like that's just how I was?
No, you don't feel bad about it, but you can recognize, okay, how I view things is through this lens that I know is also like privilege and all that shit. But you shouldn't feel bad about it. I mean, what the fuck are you supposed to do? Like be like as a kid, like, no, I'm going out to the streets because that will make me a better person. Like,
right. It's not my fault that I was like born into like this privileged life and I don't want to feel bad. And I do appreciate when I can like take the time to recognize like my privilege and like really reflect on it. But then it's like I never go to sleep at night like feeling bad because like there's people in the Ukraine being bombed and I'm never like, oh my God, I wish I knew what they were going through right now. It's like I understand what they're going through is shit, but I do not wish to be in their situation. And I guess I'm just a very, very grateful person. Like I do know that I'm fucking privileged and like I'm never gonna be on the streets. I'm never gonna be poor. Like I get that. And so it's like I try to just find the balance of like where can I appreciate this and then feel bad for them without like hating myself for it, you know?
well, even on like a micro scale, it's just like the same thing as if you're driving by and you see a homeless person. Like you have to compartmentalize some of that stuff, but you also are like, you realize the reality of the situation and you like know you're not that person, but you know that person is a human and like is struggling and going through shit. So, but yeah, you can't be like in total, I don't know, you could just like you can't be super duper depressed. I think that's why a lot of the super anti-natalists and all these people who have just gone like off the deep end as far as like we can't have kids, we can't have anything happy, you know, whatever. It's like because they've gone so far that it's like, yeah, they're like, yeah, actually adding another human will use more resources, but is that a bad thing? Is that, I mean, that's what humans, you know, like how people just go too far because they're so dark and about it, which I've been in those places. I've been very dark in my life before, like, so, but you just can't be like that. Like
nature, you know, like, sure, maybe I'm selfish for like just now at this point in my life, something bad that happens to me is like something not even relating to like what someone in like Syria is going through. Like, okay, I'm sorry, but like, does that not make my problems still my problems? You know, like you still have problems and you have to just learn to like realize you cannot help what family you were born into, what privilege you were born into. As long as you are aware of that privilege, then that's really all that you can do. Like you can't feel bad about the fact that there's people dying of in third world countries of like fucking diseases, you know, like you can't feel bad that you're not in that situation. You can feel bad for them, but you can't feel bad that you're not in that because you're just not. And this is how life is. Life isn't fair.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really it.
Sorry,
are you drinking more?
That like it's easy for like people to get mad at us for like making jokes or like, you know, World War III jokes or whatever. But like we can't, like you said, like you can feel bad for them, but like really what, you know, that maybe that's our way of contributing is like making jokes and making it like lighter for people because it's such a heavy thing. And like I don't think that that can be discounted. I don't think that just because we're not experiencing it means that we, you know, can't talk about it, or that if we do talk about it, like it has to be super serious and somber. Like there is a place for jokes about things like this, and you know, I'm not going to feel badly for making jokes about it because I can't be sad all the time, and if I don't make jokes about it, I'm
like social media like, okay, so how do you guys feel like it would be if there was like social media generation in like World War II? Like, how do you think it would be going?
Well, Hitler would have won. First of all, if Hitler had Facebook, Hitler would have fucking won. I've said that a million times because he would have had everyone fucking brainwashed, just like they had everyone fucking brainwashed with COVID and all this shit so quickly and so like masterfully and like perfectly. And if they had people believing it was okay for them to do what they did then, could you imagine if they had been in control of Facebook and like beating, they would have won. Like Hitler would have won. So that's my thing on it.
Yeah, because I mean, he did what he did, like with no social media and with no modern technology. Like, it probably would have been like tenfold. But then also, you know, Americans were just built differently back then. Like, the you know, our grandparents now who are in that generation, like, look at us and laugh because we're weak and soy boys and feminists and whatever, and it's true. It's like that has a lot to do with like the state of the world, and a lot of that has to do with social media, and just like, yeah, like it would have been so much worse back then, but we also could have balanced it out with like normal Americans, Americans of today.
Because I feel like my thing is, it's like, I don't know, now that we have social, like if there is a World War III, it's like everything is like online for people to see at all times. And so that did not have that in World War II. So all the news that people were hearing, it was whatever the radio, like the fucking 1 or 2 radio stations was like giving them. And it's like, we don't have that now. We have like actual live footage of like people having
live radios. They took their radios away, like they took their guns away back then.
Right. But that's like, I feel like that's why now if we had like a World War III, it would not be as bad as like what World War II was because of social media.
As long as they don't silence the dissenting view completely. Like they haven't silenced everybody yet. So as long as that's still happening.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I'm just so curious of like, it's just like, I mean, me and Hannah touched about this last time on our live stream. It was just like how quickly social media has evolved and just like changed humanity so quickly. It's like, it's so weird to think about the things that people were going through before social media was a thing to like bring awareness and light to it.
I was around during those times, young lassies. I was around.
Yeah, you're like kind of my older brother's age. So it's like he did not grow up with like a cell phone and social media. Like me and Hannah are the first generation to have that. So it's weird to think
your whole life.
No, yeah, literally your whole life. It's pretty wild.
I remember like MySpace came out because I was working. I graduated 2002 and I was doing a desk job, and then like I was on the internet all the time, and it was fairly new. AOL was all cool then. Then MySpace came out, and like that was pretty cool. Like MySpace was pretty cool, and I was like, but then they're like, oh, there's this thing called Facebook, but you have to go to college to get on it. And I was like, well, fuck, I ain't gonna fuck
That's so funny because they made a movie about how you had to, like, how it started as
you used to have to be in college to get on it. And then they changed
so
that.
Funny that you actually heard that oh my god, because they made a whole movie, but holy shit, that's so
it's
crazy.
A different time back then. Now I'm like, God, I wish I had never fucking got on that fucking hell site, but it was so cool at the time, you know. You're like, ooh.
But like, why do you like Twitter over like Facebook then?
At first for the anonymity to be like it's much easier to be anonymous and like create a character. Like I'm going with this forest mommy shit to my grave now. Like it's my thing. It's my Lady Gaga. So like I like that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I got doxxed on Facebook right as COVID was happening. I got doxxed. And I'm like, the whole reason is because your family's on there, you're connected to all your friends and family, and like, you know, so if you talk to people you don't know, then they can find your family. And I'm like, that's fucked up. But Twitter just was so good, and I could just scream my shit into the void, and people not necessarily liked it, but we were going through a time where people can speak freely. People couldn't speak freely for the last 2 years. Like,
yeah.
And like people like us, you can't fucking shut us up. Like I have that video, I can hear you in the fucking bathroom at that bar when we're watching that football. Like you cannot shut people like us up. And like so, but it works. We all found each other, and I've gotten more involved with. Even I wasn't involved in the Libertarian Party at all till I got on Twitter, and now I am, and I've met so many awesome people, especially the Mises Caucus. I will also say they're not necessarily the best caucus, but they're the like coolest caucus where we're like, I don't give a fuck who you are, what you do. We just got to fight the government. Sure. That's my Mises.
Like, that's the I was very scared, honestly, going to the LP. Like, because I knew when I was going to Arizona, like I was staying with Jeremy Todd, and like I knew he had my back, like because we were staying in the same house, and like I knew the other Sarah that was staying with us had our back. And then I was like, when I'm at the convention, I'm going to be with Forest Mommy. I was like, okay, she has my back. You know, like
that's perfect. I'm so glad you were going, and like I just went last minute.
So fun. But then there was like a weird situation that happened, and I won't explain it, but I got a little bit paranoid for my life going to the California convention because I was like, this is the first time anyone on Twitter has like known where I was staying like all weekend, and like I don't know. I just
was that part of the bar situation too that happened for you?
No, that was a different. Okay, because honestly, my friend Mary, like she is like so pretty. Like she is fucking beautiful.
So
if you literally analyze her face on some fucking app, like she is so fucking pretty.
She's scientifically pretty.
Scientifically, she's pretty. And not only that, she has an amazing heart. She's a great girl. Like this was the first time, because we have been like not distant, but we've like had our moments where we just like don't talk for like a few months. And then we've been friends since we were like 15. So we always find our way back to each other. And like she came out here, she was like, yeah, I'm gonna come visit you, whatever. And I was like, hey, is it cool if these people from the convention come up and hang out with us? And like she really opened up to me. Like we were all hanging out in the hotel room, and she was like, I know Sarah is very different from me, but I don't judge her. Like I would not be friends with her if like I judged how she was. And like she is just such like a cool, genuine like person. Like she is just the fucking best. Like Mary is absolutely amazing, my best friend. But like whenever we go out places, like she is so pretty in a way that like I know that I'm pretty, but she is like Victoria's Secret model pretty. You know, like everybody fucking knows that she is fucking beautiful. And so like we went out to a bar, and like basically this guy like he asked her, I went away for a second to charge my Juul. Like I met these people in the bar that were like, we can charge your Juul at our little disposable charger. I went away for 2 minutes to go grab my Juul, and this guy was talking to her. And I was like, okay, whatever, we're gonna leave it. And like basically it was 5 times. She had asked him twice to leave us alone. And then I was like, hey, you know, could you please leave us alone? This is my best friend. I'm just trying to enjoy a night with her. And then he kept talking to us, and the bartender was like, hey, dude, look, you got to leave them alone. You know, they're not interested in talking to you, trying to be chill about it. And then he talked to us again, and she was like, bro, can you please leave us alone? And then he talked to us again, and this was like the 6th time, and the bartender was like, bro, look, don't embarrass yourself. They're not interested. And then he talked to us again, and this was the 7th time. And Mary, at the top of her lungs, she shouted, you need to leave us the fuck alone. We have asked you so many times to leave us alone. And like at this point, everybody was looking, and the bartender was like, came up and he was like, dude, you got to get out. You're disturbing our customers. You got to get out. And so like they kicked him out of the bar for like being disruptive to like me and me. Because it was like, I'm sorry, if someone asks you like 7 times to leave them alone, like leave us the fuck alone, you know?
That's good the bartender was there and saw it
Yeah,
all
so
too.
he like had our back, but that was just like a weird, like that always happens when me and Mary go out, because like she's very, very pretty, and then I'm like pretty enough to get away with being her friend. So like no, but yeah, she's the best. She's super cool. But yeah, it was, and then it was just like I came home and people were like, oh, was it Dave Smith? Like, and I was like, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. Dave Smith is fine. Dave Smith is like, I don't know.
You and me are the people that need to worry about us at the conventions, not Dave Smith. Okay, let's face it.
Exactly. Oh my god.
But we're nice. We're nice, and we always love consent.
Nice.
We love consent.
We love consent. Okay,
Sarah,
so what? Yes.
I'm gonna hop off because I don't know when I'm gonna lose service. So you guys finish it out. I'm gonna like watch the rest of it, but I'm just gonna get off because I don't know when I'll not be here
Nice to
anymore.
meet you, Hannah. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. I'm sorry this was such a weird episode, but we'll have you on again when I'm in my normal setting.
That weird's my thing.
No, you're fine.
Yes, right? But yes, I'll let these ladies close it out, and I'm gonna head out.
Bye. Drive safe.
So I guess we can finish it off. I mean, I don't know how open you are about like your. Hold on, let me let my dog out of the room.
Let's take a break. Everybody get everything that needs to be done.
I'll take more of a little shot, because you took a little shot.
I'm just sipping. You know, I have to go to see my family tomorrow, but whatever. I'll sip a little bit. Sip a little here. What do you think about my friend Terribly Tactical that you were on my live stream? Isn't he a sweetheart?
Oh my god,
Uh-oh. Is there shit already going on? Okay, never. We haven't talked about it. But I love him. I love him to death.
It was just really funny. Me and my boyfriend actually got into our first fight over him.
Oh, really? Because of the live stream or other stuff?
Well, okay, so this was like, and I mean,
is he watching? Hi, boyfriend.
He's watching, but I mean, we're on a very different level like now than we were 3 weeks ago. But I think it took a while to like admit to each other that we were on that level, but that's a whole nother story. But basically, he was, because me and my boyfriend were FaceTiming when you were like, hey, come on the live stream. And he was like, well, I don't want to stop FaceTiming. And I was like, well, I have to go on the live stream, so just watch the live stream or whatever. And he was texting me a bunch of times, and I love you, boyfriend, but you know that I'm gonna fucking spill the tea and it doesn't matter. But
it's all about honesty and being real. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And he knows that's what I do on social media. He doesn't care. We always work it out. We love each other. We'll be together forever. It's fine. But he was like, oh, I fucking love this dude that you're live streaming with. Like, who is he? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't fucking know him. It's my first time meeting him. And he was like, I want to be his friend. Like, let me be his friend. Introduce me to him. And I was like, no, you need to like chill, like stop for a second. Like, I don't know who he is. You know what I mean? And
That's so cute. That's so cute, though.
It was cute a little bit, but then he was like, okay, I'm gonna message him anyway. And I was like, can you please not? And he was like, well, I'm gonna do it anyway. And then like, so he basically messaged him and he was like, I'm so sorry, Noah, I love you. We're good. You know, I'm gonna spill the tea because this is what we do. But he messaged him and he was like, I'm watching my girl on a live stream right now with you. Like, I just think you're dope and we should be friends. And then Tack sent me that and he was like, yo, is this your man? And like, bro, I was fucking.
Boys are so funny. Boys are so funny. He's like, I gotta tell this dude that's my girl. I gotta tell this dude that's my girl.
They don't process things in the moment. And like, I was so fucking heated because this is also when we like had first started like being officially boyfriend girlfriend, and
that was a couple of weeks ago. It was like
3 weeks ago, yeah. And so I was like, you do not fucking like I said not to message him. Like I don't know who the fuck this guy is, and you're just gonna sit there and message him like trying to be his friend, and then use my name for clout. Like you have to understand that my name has clout, and so for you to sit there and be like my girlfriend. Like now all of a sudden he's gonna like associate you with me, and I just want to be associated with myself.
Yeah.
Well, like I don't want you
we're
like,
too little too strong personality for that
right.
shit.
Exactly, yeah. And so I was so mad at him. Like we literally did not talk for like 2 days. This was like, right. But it wasn't even like I also just have like very autistic abilities when it comes to like communicating emotions. And so I knew that I needed to just like not talk to him so that I didn't say anything like rude or out of pocket. Right. But it was like, yeah, no, we worked it out because I was like, just don't even like fucking message anybody that I talk to. Don't try to be friends with people because I'm friends with them. Because it's like embarrassing for me because it's like, this is what I do. You know, like this is like a lightweight career. Like I don't want you to be fucking it up, like putting my name in your mouth to like get, but like we're good now. Love him. He's the best. And we worked it out. But it was just like, it made me so uncomfortable.
Tactical's my boyfriend anyway. I'm gonna take that boy down one of these days, man. We're gonna hold of him. No, he's like I gotta clip that for him.
Like I would too.
And I had been like, I would go on his live stream. He came onto mine for a while. We've been talking for a while, and he's super hype. He hypes me and shit. I'm like, oh, I love you. Yeah. Like, I love him. But then he was like, I'm over 6 foot, and I was like, oh hey, like hey.
No, he's great. This is okay. Well, I mean, this is a live stream that like hundreds of people are gonna ask. I don't know if you comfortably talk about your relationship like to people.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about it earlier on that other podcast I was on. My internet kept fucking up. Like openly. Yeah. What do you want to know? What do you want to know? I'm an open book.
Okay, so this is my thing. Is because like I grew up Christian, right? And I went away from it when I was like, in 17. Like I realized that was not like what I wanted to do with my life, and it didn't morally make me so it's taken a while for me to like get to where I am today, that it's like I still love Jesus, but like I'm not a Christian, and I don't necessarily believe in like the whole you need to get married and only have sex with one person for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? So like basically me and I'm sorry, I shouldn't have doxed my boyfriend like that, but at the end of the day, honey, if you're gonna date a Twitter famous girl, people are gonna find out who you are. Okay, so me and him realized very recently that like, and I've met like people who are also like polyamorous, and they have basically,
I'm not poly. I'm not that.
They're not poly. But I've met people who are in that situation, and they basically like explained how they like feel. And so like me and him, because like we literally talk about like getting married and having kids and shit. You know what I mean? But it's like there was basically a situation where like both of us had cheated, and we like talked about it, and we were like, well, to be honest, I don't care that you cheated. Like, I don't fucking give a shit. And he said the same thing to me. And it was like, well, then why, especially because we're long distance right now, it's like, well, why don't we just be like non-monogamous? And he was like, I have been looking my entire life for somebody that could like understand me. And I was like, well, same. Because like I want to get married and have kids, but I've always like had this thing where just like sex could be like not important and could not affect your relationship. And I feel like me and him have like found each other especially because we're young and we're long distance right now. It's
So
like
much has happened since I saw you in Arizona. Like, you've met
oh my
this
god,
man.
I know. No, yeah, I literally have like a boyfriend now, but like, but yeah, like that's basically the thing is like we are on the same page about like basically our entire relationship. For at least now, we're gonna be like non-monogamous, and like I feel like that's very hard for people to understand that like me and him can still love each other, but like have sex with other people. But like it's true, you know, like that can actually be a thing.
And half the time is like, my whole thing is like, if you're not, which I'm different from a lot of the people who are super into it, is like, I don't always actively like seek it out or anything. It's just a matter of like when I used to be before
Right.
COVID, when I used to be able to go out and just randomly be at bars and you meet people and you're like, you know, that'd be kind of fun for the night or whatever, like one time kind of thing. Like
Right.
that's what it's about for me, especially with girls. So I like to be with girls, so it's like a good way to kind of like do that, you know. But I don't know. Like I know I definitely know it's not for everyone. And I know like so I was with my ex for 7 years, and then I've been with my current for 12 years. I would have never wanted to do that with my ex. So it just depends on who you're
Right.
with. Like it's so much. This is what I hate about all the fucking labeling that's gone on with sexuality and shit these days. Like it's
Exactly.
turned it so clinical and so like I'm like sometimes you meet someone, maybe you're same sex, maybe, and you're just like maybe not a relationship, but like you're like I want to connect with this person in this specific way.
Yeah.
You know, and I know, and we know like our connection is just that for what it is and that moment and whatever.
Right.
And like it's like I
And
don't want
that
to destroy
doesn't
my
have
whole,
to affect your actual like relationship with
yeah, like your
that
day-to-day
person.
love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's like I feel like that's very hard for people to understand, and I feel like I think it's harder for people to understand just because I grew up in like the church, and it was just like you're with one person forever. But I'm like genuinely,
I
you know,
get
if
it.
my boyfriend was like, "Hey, look at this girl I fucked last night. Like we had a great time." I'd be like, "Oh, okay, cool." And he would feel like the same way about me because that's actually happened. And it's like we don't feel any different towards each other at all. Like we are actually happy that we can be in that situation with each other because it makes our relationship better. And so it's just like, I don't know, like sometimes I think you just have to accept that like you're just fucking weird.
Well,
And
and why
like
would like all these half these people who say they hate it, they'll all cheat and shit, and I'm like, that's worse. That's
right, that's
worse.
almost like if he was to, in terms, cheat on me, like have sex with another girl, like it might have happened, it might not that he's done that, but I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I didn't genuinely care because like I know that him doing that with her did not affect like our relationship. So it's just like, why am I gonna put like a label of being like, oh, you only have to be with me or you're only supposed to fuck me? Because it's like that's not where both of us are in life. Like we're both okay with like doing what we want to do and like you know like
When you both
it's just
understand, like I
to,
said, in the moment you meet some people sometimes, and you're like, well, you know, like we should
right.
do this. So I'm so. Are you still drinking? We're still drinking.
No, I'm good. That was probably my last one, but that's just like, yeah, I'm just curious because I met you and I was like, you are literally like my mother, and I see myself in your future, but you know, like that's just, I think people just have to understand that like religion does not equate to happiness, and like if me and him are happier that way, then like why are you gonna like put a boundary or say like, oh, they're just, that's fake, like they're not actually happy.
Even beyond religion, it is a very human thing when, like, say you're in a relationship for when if for to be fucking hurt if they find someone else attractive or whatever. Like,
Right.
it's just the very it's that's why I've always loved this kind of lifestyle, is because it's very made me like you have to face it front on. Like I have to face this jealousy, right? Like I have to think about it and work through it and go through it and then be like, oh,
Right.
it's whatever, it's fine. And that, and like a lot of
Right.
people are just like, oh, good, oh, King Libertarian's in the chat. This is a good chat for him to be around. So like, but I get it. I get why people like
Yeah.
cannot do it completely, because who knows? I may have been with someone who I couldn't do it with at some point. You know what I mean? Like, but the way it's just worked out for us, and the way it's just like happened, and the way we are, like, it just depends on like. That's why I've hated the
But
like whole
you
like.
actually genuinely feel happier in your relationship being able to like be open and like have that. you know, because that's like how me and my boyfriend are right now. And we literally talk about getting married, having kids, and like then we actually opened up and had this conversation. And it was like, well, look, you don't care I cheated on you. I don't care you cheated on me. So why don't we just like make this our relationship? And he was like, I don't really care. And I was like, I don't really care either. And so it's like some people are just genuinely happier, like being like open, you know?
And what matters is that this is the whole like alpha thing. I'm like, who does she go home to at night? Who does she go home to at night? That's
exactly.
the alpha.
Exactly. Well, that doesn't make you like a bad person. I know.
No, and
that's
you know
why
what? It's an ebb and flow. It doesn't have to be like, because I've seen people, so we've been together 12 years. Basically, all of it's been open to some extent. Not open, but like just, you know, shit happens to some extent. And it's like,
right.
Where was I going with that? I had a really good point to fucking make, but now I'm drinking too much. Going like that. But it's always person by person too. It's always, there may be people who I'd be like, oh, I kind of like him, and he'd be like, I don't like that guy's vibe, and I'd be like, okay, cool, I'll back. You know, you like it's very person to person, very like.
Right.
I don't know. And people make it their life sometimes, and I've seen people like burn out because they make it their life, where they're like, we're constantly seeing other people.
Not our life. Our life right now is that like we love each other, we want to have a family, but he's fucking younger than me. If he goes out when he's 21, 22,
how old is he? You're like a baby. How old is he?
He's turning 20 next month.
Oh, he's so young.
Yeah. But that's why I'm just like, I don't know, like, you can't put a limit on it. Like, if we're both actually okay with us going out and fucking other people, but we know we come home to each other at night, like, why is that an issue? If we're both happier that way, like, that shouldn't be morally unaccepted, or like, you know, like, people look down on us for that being a relationship.
It's such a funny, like, observation of humans. Like, even just, like, I don't know if you followed that whole Jack Murphy thing, but, like...
Yeah, I did a little bit. Like,
it went bad. Like, we talked about this when we were in Arizona, because all of a sudden there was other shit going on where I was like, okay, dude, you went too far. But at first, people were just, like, kink-shaming him, and it's like, there's literally a biological thing. This is real, people. This is science. Okay, this is science. Science says biologically, when a man watches his woman with another man, it increases his sperm count. Like, this is real. This is a real fucking thing that happens. Whether it's like real or not, but also if you have a fucking hot girlfriend, you're gonna, like, I don't know, whatever. Like, you want to watch your hot fucking girlfriend.
But that's just like, I guess if you like grow up in religion and then you're like trying to accept yourself for being like, you know, I'm cool with this. Like, I'm cool with being non-monogamous or whatever. And I talked to one of my friends who's like polyamorous at the convention, and she was like, we can openly date other people and like whatever. And I was like, I don't really feel like that's us. Like, I feel like just with me and my boyfriend, it's like we go out, we fuck who we want to fuck, and then that's it, and we're fine with it. But like,
I love that your mom's watching.
My mom is watching. Yeah, my mom is watching.
I love your mom.
She's great, but I don't know. I don't feel like there's anything morally wrong with me for like being in that type of relationship, because I actually feel like I'm happier than ever that I found somebody that is like on the same page as me, and so is he. Like, we're genuinely on the same page. It's not fake. It was like, I have this guy back home that I like, you know, am still like fucking with, and I was like talking to him about it earlier, and he was like, oh, that's funny, you should say this. And like, we're just actually on the same like page with shit, and like, I don't feel bad about it. He doesn't feel bad about it. Like, that's just how we are. And so it's just like weird to process that, like, hey, you're normal for this. If you and your boyfriend are on the same page, your boyfriend who's probably going to be your husband, like, you're okay. You're not weird. If that's just how you guys are, that's how you guys are. And I guess you just have to stop caring what people think, you know?
You do. Like, and like when I first started going to like the swinger clubs and stuff, it was mostly more conservative people, a little bit older, like their kids are like, you know, 15 and up. Like, they've already raised the fucking kids, and like they just like, especially like men, a lot of times they go sow their wild oats when they're young. They have their fun, and a lot of women don't, because a lot of women don't know like even how to fucking masturbate. I knew a girl, she didn't even know how to come after she had kids. This bitch had kids and she never actually had an orgasm. And I'm
right. Oh my God. My mom was watching a fucking live stream about me masturbating. But yeah, I didn't know. Like, I was having sex. My mom can just pretend she never, but I was having sex since I was like 18. And then I never had an orgasm until my first ex-boyfriend when I was 20. And then I never was able to give myself another one until I bought a vibrator. Because it was like,
yeah,
it was
you
like,
gotta learn about that clit, baby. You
yeah.
gotta like figure
And
that
that's
clit
like
shit out.
not something that I feel like a lot of women are like open about. But it's like,
That's
bitch,
the Christian
buy a
thing too. But Christians,
Huh?
especially the Christians, they say it's okay for men to fucking, you know, they can do this.
But it's
But
not okay
girls,
for
if
women
a
to
girl touches
masturbate.
herself, it is
Right.
naughty and it's not right. And it's like, so look, we're getting real serious tonight. Sorry.
Yeah. And that's not
Like
cool.
I found with no abuse, nothing bad happened to me. I figured out how to like physically do something at a very young age. I was like 4 or 5, and I was like,
Yeah.
I could
And
feel
that's
that
fine.
feeling. Yeah, and I'm like
Yeah.
thankful for that, but it's kind of made me a different kind of person where I'm not like, and at a certain point my mother would like, my brother would tell on me if he would catch me, which that's so weird, right?
Yeah.
But like
It's a little weird.
he would tell on me, and then like later in my life, whatever, like at some point when they would like shame me about it, I'm like, okay, you can shame me all you want about it, and I'm a little kid at this point, but I'm like, I'll just be more secretive. I will just be more secretive. Yeah,
But
and like,
yeah.
so I've known
But
for a long time
weird
how to
bit.
like,
Yeah.
there's this thing that happens that's more, it's not necessarily emotional, it's more physical, because I've just known about it for a long time.
But that was like my thing, is because like I was fucking like, I was like a hoe. Like I'm still a hoe, whatever. Like but now that I understand a female orgasm, amen. But I didn't understand the orgasm on my own with a vibrator until I was like 21, when COVID happened and I ordered a vibrator because I knew my boyfriend at the time wouldn't be able to come over. I was like, okay, like I know how to give myself an orgasm. So now when I hook up with people, even if it's just for like a night, it's like that actually means a lot more to me because I know what I'm looking for with it. It's like I'm looking for a good
it's
time.
much better when you have fucking someone else to help out with it.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm fucking with the energy with this dude, and like I feel like we could have a good night, and I can get that orgasm that I can get on my own. And I think that's what's important. Is it's like, you know, a lot of women are not in tune with their like sexual, like this is what you want, this is what you like. So it's like maybe at the LP convention I fucked somebody, but it was like going into that night, I knew my boyfriend
been around.
I was like, my boyfriend wouldn't care if I fuck somebody else, and I know what I want. I'm gonna get it out of this man, and then we're never gonna talk again, and that's fine. And that's fine.
I know, but now I'm like, now the person we met down there, I'm like, I'm gonna call him up. I need to bring him up.
Which one?
That guy. Oh well, yeah, that was so much fun. What a fun weekend!
I know. That was
I'm so glad that you had gone, because I wasn't gonna go. I went last minute, basically.
No, it was super fun. And then I like, that's why, honestly, like meeting you that weekend, I was like, okay, I am normal. I am normal for being the way that I am.
We're normal. Maybe I'm not normal, but
if we're both not normal, like we're still okay being, because we're not like miserable people being it's not like we're doing what we do to cope. It's not like
we're on the same vibe. We were on the same vibe of
like, that's just how we are. Yeah. And it's okay to be that way. Like that's just how we are. So it's just like, I don't know. I'm very glad to know that I'm okay, and like I'm not crazy for like exploring sexuality, and then the next weekend.
Look at your mom. Look what your mom just put in the messages.
Don't get an STD. I haven't gotten an STD yet. I'm good.
It's very easy. Hey, y'all, I am 30. I'm almost 38. I've never once in my life ever thought I was pregnant, ever, because you can control these things. Like, it's very easy to control these things. So, FYI, everybody. Yeah, should we get to LP? Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Like, just don't get an STD and don't get pregnant. But like, that's very easy to like be honest with yourself about. You know, like just don't get an STD and don't get pregnant. Wear a condom. That's it. Like,
I know. I was on a chat the other day with a bunch of girls, and like the non-monogamous thing kind of briefly came up, and the one girl I could tell like fucking was not down at all, you know, and I wasn't gonna argue because it's like the whole, you know, when you argue anarchy and people are like, what about the roads? And you're like you've heard it a million times, you
it's
know?
like the same thing, but it's just like there's something in my heart that this genuinely feels like the reason that I have met my boyfriend that I feel like I'm gonna marry is because we can both be non-monogamous and be on the same page. And like we've both felt crazy growing up, but like the fact that we're on that page, it's like I just feel like that's how I'm supposed to be. And I feel better being able to admit that to myself versus him. He's only 19. It's like, if you are fucking 22, 23, you want to go out with your friends and fuck a girl after, I'm okay with that. Just come home to me after. Like, I'm genuinely okay with that. And there's like not a lot of people that I feel like have that energy, and I just do, and I just don't care.
Yeah, this girl started going down this road of like how it's bad. She's like, well, these people, they put fluids in you. And I'm like, listen, I didn't say this, but I was going to be like, listen, I am almost 38. No cum, sorry, raunchy, but no cum ever like touched the inside of me ever till I was probably like 35. I never let it touch the inside of me, you know? And I'm like, there are things it's fine. Like people have this, like,
it's like, I trust him. If he was to go out and meet a girl, fuck her, he would wear a condom and then he'd come home to me at like 4 a.m. and I'd be like, okay, that's fine. And we don't, because he's still on his journey and I'm still on mine. And like,
you have to sow your wild oats eventually. That's why like a lot of the swingers, it's all these like women who have raised the kids. They got into a relationship early and now they're hot still, you know, and their kids are like 15, 16. And they're like, the dude's like, yeah, I wouldn't mind watching you fuck another dude, you know, like that'd be
You're not even swinging. It's just because like he is so young. And I know I'm like, if this is my husband and we're supposed to get married and have kids and he's like fucking 21 by the time he has a kid, like if I tied him down to me, he's gonna be petty. I want him to go live his life, you know, and that's just like how we are. And I feel like that's okay. And there's literally nothing wrong with that. Like I have no shame in my heart. Neither of us do, for being able to actually admit to each other, like, hey, like we both cheated, but like we feel better that way. We're like, well, if we both cheated, why don't we just make this our relationship? And it's just like very cool that you can find someone on your vibe of like, fuck you on a fuck, but like I am your wife and you come home to your wife and that's it.
Like you make the partnership work with your like the actual person.
Exactly.
You know, like
I'm okay with that. But I just feel crazy sometimes, you know? Because it's because
you're so young. I wasn't even into that shit till I was like, how old was I? 20. I was probably 28, and then I was like, yeah, I'd be down with that. Like, I'd be down with it.
I just know how young he is. Like, I want him to live his life.
Baby.
He's such a baby. But I love him. I'm actually going to meet him next weekend. I'm a little nervous.
Oh, is next weekend your first in person? Next weekend?
Yeah.
Are you flying to him or is he flying to you?
I'm flying to him.
Okay.
But I think it'll be okay. We got in a fight the other day because he was talking about, he was like, this is gonna be the best day of my life meeting you, and I was like, please stop talking.
Chill down, honey.
No, that's it. I was like, please stop talking. It's making me anxious. And he kept talking. And I was like, I got in a fight with him. I was like, you need to shut the fuck up. And then I did not talk to him for a day. And then we were finally like, I was like, you have to understand the reason that you didn't understand me saying shut the fuck up is because you couldn't read my body language. And body language is not something you can read until you're in person. And so I was just like, and so he like understood. He was like, and then there was like earlier today, I was like, hey, you know, next week we're gonna be together. And he freaked out. He was like, oh my God. But like I think we're on the same page. Just you have to have some sense of nervousness with it.
Yeah, a little nervous is fine, but you're the kind of person too where you can obviously like you went to the Arizona convention and the shit can happen and whatever.
Yeah. I know. It's so weird. Oh, Tack is here.
Who is?
I love Tack. Should we just live stream for like another hour and invite Tack?
We can have anyone on. I don't care. If you want to keep going, I can keep going. Oh yeah! Tactical, come on. I didn't even see that.
I'm gonna set it. Wait, Tack, do you want to come on?
Bring him on. I love him.
Okay, I'm gonna set it. Hannah's gonna be like, bitch, why was this episode so long? And I'm gonna be like, whatever, it's fine.
That's how it goes. I swear to God, all my streams are just fucking random as fuck. And I'm always
know.
like, you came on that one time and we've been going for hours and like,
Okay, I sense his attack. Okay, so he should come on. But that's
I didn't
like,
even see him. Why is that not showing up?
no,
on my
he's
phone?
here. They said don't stop. Tack, come on the stream.
Tactical, come on.
We're going for another 30 minutes at least.
Yeah, I'm down. Actually,
Okay,
give me 1
30
second
minutes.
though. Hold on. I gotta take one break. I gotta take a 2-second break.
Oh yeah, go pee. Do what you have to do. I'm going to talk. I'm gonna talk to my mother because my mother is watching the stream. Look, Mom. Look, okay. No, I can't even have this conversation because this is going on YouTube. But all I'm gonna say is, look, Mom, you gave me a shitty father, and I turned out the way I am. Okay, so if this is how me and Noah's, I'm sorry, if Noah's gonna be my boyfriend, yes, I know I'm gonna name drop him sometimes.
Noah, you just gotta deal with this shit, Noah.
Yeah,
it's all
exactly.
good.
This is mine and Noah's relationship of being non-monogamous. If you feel like you fucked up by raising me this way, then that's on you. But I'm telling you, me and Noah are genuinely happier being this way, especially because we're long distance, especially because he's young. Like, this is how me and Noah were supposed to be. And that's how I know that he is my husband, is because we are on the same page about shit. And it's very nice to meet somebody where it's like, well, hey, if you fuck somebody, I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you cheated on me. I don't know. It's just cool. So.
Is your mom at home? Are you at the same house as your mom right now?
Yeah, we're at the same house.
I love it. No, there's this thing, and I've met like older guys who their wives ended up leaving them because they got married young. They didn't do their thing. They didn't like have a slutty phase or whatever. And then they're like,
I know Noah wants to be the father of my kids so bad, and we want to get married. But I also know how I was when I was his age, and it's just like I would. Please do. Yeah, that's all. I feel like I'm genuinely happy with being non-monogamous.
Are we
good? You're good.
Okay, good.
I messaged Tack. I was like, Tack, come in.
Yeah, he needs to come on, motherfucker. He's like, I have to get ready because I was at work. Okay. What does that matter?
Should I bring my mom in?
Yeah, bring your mom on. It's Friday night.
Moment?
I know. I'd like to know your real mom. I love your real mom that she's on Twitter.
Mom, come on. We can have Martha do a guest feature. Mom, come in. Come in my room.
I seriously had so much fun in Arizona. It's not even fucking funny.
Like, I know.
I needed to do that so bad because I've been like out. I didn't like do shit during COVID, and I was like, I know.
I get it, girl. I was like, and then meeting you, I was like, this is the fucking me when I'm older. Okay, my mom. Hold on, Mom. You can get wine. I got one. Okay.
I could use another lime.
This is the first fucking feature of my mom.
Oh, there she is.
Pop now. Come in. Yeah, you can hear. So this is my mom.
We love your mom.
She does follow me on Twitter. She is very aware of my insanity. She's aware of my OnlyFans. She doesn't care. She follows all my shit. She knows what's up. So when people are like, oh, Sarah, it's because you have parents that don't love you. My mom does love me.
Yeah, fuck you. I love my daughter.
So, but I think she's just, this is just my mom. And she's great. My mom has a fucked up past. So I think she kind of.
That's my fault, though.
But I think she a little bit more understands how I am because of her fucked up past. And like, yes, I'm fucked up, but I'm also, I think, happier at my age than she was. And like, I understand myself more. So I don't know. That's it. I mean, you can talk now. I'm not trying to like steal the show from Liberty Thoughts Mom.
Show.
I know, but like this is Liberty Thoughts. I mean, she's been watching the whole thing about the whole like non-monogamous with my husband shit. So whatever. You can speak if you'd like.
Well, I mean, I'm 55 now, but I do have a past, you know.
Right.
I'm cool. I've done things.
You're 55. My man is 54.
I love that. I dated
55 is the new 40.
It is. Like my grandparents died in their fucking 60s, and now I'm like, my man's gonna be 60. Like, soon, you know.
No, I get it, girl. I dated a 52-year-old. The older men are fine. I'm fucking dating a 19-year-old. That's fine. Like, age doesn't mean anything.
The thing about the 52-year-old was that he was a Democrat, though. That's why they.
No, that's
yeah.
And he was vaccinated. I'm like, ew.
Right. She didn't even. When I told her, I was like, I'm dating a 52-year-old. Her and both my stepdad were like, okay, well, let me see a picture. And I was like, he's a Democrat. And they were like, ew. But I said he was 52, and they like weren't even faced. It was like.
It's not the Democrats. They're like, no.
They were like, ew, you're dating a Democrat? Like, it was hilarious.
Especially was he out by you in the Bay Area? Because they're like different out there.
Yeah, it was in San Francisco. He was just a very like liberal, you know, like very, very liberal, like wanted me to get vaccinated. And like when you're 52, you can't change somebody's mind. You know,
no,
but,
and
like,
a lot of men try that shit at that age too.
I have zero issues with him at all. Like he was honestly like it was great to have him around in the place that I was at in my life because I was trying to get sober off coke. Like he was a great guy, but it was just like long term. Like we knew when it had to end. You know, but like we were hanging out every weekend for like 4 months. Like he was a good guy. I did not feel weird going out to bars and shit with him, knowing that there was a 30-year age gap. Like we both felt very normal about it. It was like not even a big deal. So I don't know. Like I'm just a little fucked up. I
can relate. But I did that when I was her age too. I never dated people my age ever. Not until I got to be like in my 30s.
Right.
Yeah. So I get it.
Right.
Yeah. No judgment.
Yeah. I don't know. I miss him. I could text him right now. What?
What?
I said thank you for your mom for taking care of you.
Oh no, she always takes care of me. I mean, I'm still 24 living in her house. Like, obviously, she takes care of me.
Out the door by 24. How long do we have now? How many more months?
Didn't happen.
No, that's
but
fine. Now I'm all about like multi-generational living now. Like Americans need to go back to that, in my opinion.
Right. And like, see, this is my thing is I've always been like very dependent on somebody. And like I am very, very dependent on my mom. Like if I'm like at the grocery store and like the almond milk that I want isn't there, I call my mom and I will like start crying about it.
Don't start crying.
And I'm like, Mom, why is the almond? And I will like pop off. But like I am very codependent, meaning like I think I will always need somebody there. And until I am married, like I need my mom there. And like she knows that. So like I might be fucking calling her crying about almond milk until I'm like 35. And so like
that's fine.
She knows that. But
Noah, she's your problem now. Not yet.
Right. Yeah, I think she knows that I'm just like a very codependent person. And I'm either living with my mom or I'm married in the house with my husband. Like that's just how I've always been. You know, like
that's all good.
Martha's exes are 80 now. Yeah, that's true. Some of them are dead. That's true.
Mama, this is a question to you.
What are your thoughts on younger men? I don't know, Chuckster. How old are you?
What are you?
I don't know. If I was dating, I would not date anyone younger than my oldest son. So 35 would be like my cutoff. Although that would just be too weird.
Right.
Yeah. Because my oldest...
We're a one night thing. Whatever. Right. But you're married. You have a stepdad, right?
I do have a stepdad. Yeah. I have a stepdad. I see him as more of my dad than like my actual dad. I love my stepdad. He's great. we've had our issues, but you know, he's great at the end of the day.
Yeah, they're two very different kinds of guys. So her dad's not a bad guy. He's just very, very on the spectrum and very not present emotionally and physically.
Did I ever tell you? Okay, this is like a little bit deep.
He's a good guy though.
So when me and Phil, my little brother, he's 3 years younger than me, when we went to England the last time to like basically visit the grandparents and say goodbye. So when we were saying goodbye, you know, like literally the last time we were probably ever going to see our grandparents, right? I was hugging them and shit. He hugged grandma. And then when he said goodbye to dad, he like shook his hand and he was like, okay, well, bye. It's nice to see you.
Yeah,
like the last time ever you're probably going to see your dad and you shake his hand.
That's very British.
So in that moment, I think I understood a little bit better, like, why dad is so distant from us, because that's just how he was raised.
Quiet desperation is the English way.
Yeah,
that's not me. That's
British
Pink
people
Floyd,
are
just
anyway. Very weird. But
that was your real dad or your stepdad?
No, that was my real dad. My real dad is from England, and he took me and my little brother to England to see our grandparents one last time, knowing they were very old. And then on the way out, he shook my granddad's hand and was like, "Okay, bye, good to see you." And I'm like, motherfucker, your dad, this is probably the last time you're gonna see your dad and you shake his hand. Like that shit's fucking, you know, like I just understood how emotionally detached he was.
Yep.
And so it's like, I love my dad. He supported us financially, but like I do have a lot of issues, like daddy issues. And like that's not her fault.
Yeah, it's not like he was abusive.
Like he wasn't abusive. He was a good dad, but it's just like, Jesus Christ, like how do you shake somebody? And like in that moment, shaking the hand, I knew I was like, okay, my dad is like kind of a piece of shit, but it's fine.
They're British. They're old British.
Yeah.
They're not new British.
They don't know any better.
Right. Yeah. I'm definitely like my mom. I'm not like my dad at all.
I married their dad because I wanted children. He was good breeding stock. I mean, he's tall, he's thin. He had blue eyes. He was, you know.
He had money.
He was stable.
And she had me, so I think looks wise, she ain't doing that bad.
That's right.
She didn't want her daughter to be a whore. I'm sorry, you ain't got that. That's a culture.
Are your brothers? Are you guys all same mom and dad? For your brothers?
My older brother is a different dad. Yeah, my older brother she had when she was 19. It's a different dad, but I have never seen my older brother as anything besides like my brother.
Yeah, that's how I have him. I have friends like that too, where the families
like,
are.
I don't look at him as anything other than the same way I see my little brother. I've honestly always saw my older brother as like a dad. Like we are super, super fucking tight. Like me and my
is he on Twitter? Is that who's on Twitter?
He is, yeah, he's Brown Label Brewing. No, but we're super fucking tight. Like, he's one of my best friends. So is my little brother. Like, all the siblings are really fucking tight. So.
And no Democrats. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
See, God, I didn't raise any Democrats. Thank you.
Yeah, my older brothers.
That's so sacrilegious saying that in the Bay Area. You guys are going to get like shut
my
down.
Friends whose kids are all liberal and they have to go round and round with them about Bernie Sanders and all this shit. And I'm just so glad that my kids turned out the way they did. They're all critical thinkers. They're all libertarian minded. They're all, you know.
They get the basics of like, you have to take care of yourself.
The basics, right. Like we've all known that like the government was a scam. Like, yeah, there's never been anything you had to do. And like my older brother was the one that got me into like libertarianism. Even though I like knew the shit behind libertarianism, he was the one that made it be like, yeah, well, maybe you're a libertarian, you know? So he's like the best. We love my older brother.
Don't get turned on, fellas. Okay.
And one has a great OnlyFans.
Yeah, shoulders. Mama shoulders.
Love it. That's where I got my muscles. One has a great OnlyFans. Yes, that would be me. Thank you for appreciating.
Yes, I'm not the one with the OnlyFans. That would be her.
She supports it. She knows what I do. It's not like a weird thing.
She told me she just reads on Rand wearing a bikini. Is this true?
Have you ever read Atlas Shrugged? Have you ever read Atlas Shrugged?
Yeah, she's never read
She wears a bikini and reads Atlas Shrugged. That's what she told me. That's all I want to know.
I wear a bikini.
That video will always like live in my memory because it was such a fun time. And then like the way you said, have you ever read Atlas Shrugged? And you hear him now, like, knowing Liam, and, like, he says, I read the Cliff Notes. And you're like, no.
It's such a classic libertarian fireside.
It's just the
moment.
best because it's like I'm such a basic level libertarian. But you know what annoys me is it's like all these fucking libertarians on Twitter are so fucking autistic and well read. And it's like you know what?
That doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter.
I got the book for a new. I haven't read it yet because I have a whole reading list I have to get through before I read this. But I have it. You know,
I feel like when you know. Like I've read, like the first time I read Anatomy for the State, I was like, yeah, I know this shit.
When I read that shit, I was like, this is nothing new to me. Like I've been reading it since I was like 14.
Yeah, like it was not new. It was like, and then you have these people, and they will argue. This is why, I like the Mises Caucus, is because you have all these other people who will argue the fucking books and the philosophy for fucking ever. And I'm like, there are some very easy, specific, basic things, so we all just gotta fucking agree on it here.
And I'm like, you seriously have to read Anatomy of the State to understand that the fucking government is conspiring against you? Like, really? Like,
right.
Really? Like, that's what, like, I fucking knew that before I read the book.
Yeah, like it was
I was like, fuck all of you autistic fucks for not being able to realize that before reading this book.
Because, yeah, you read it and you're like, yeah, this is how I've always felt. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, I haven't been so involved in everything, but then I'm like, yeah, this is how I've always, I moved out from my parents because I grew up very religious and, like, shamed about, like, masturbating and shit. And, like, and then when I was like 18, I got a job and I'm like, okay, you know what? I want to have sex and I don't want to have, so I like moved the fuck out knowing I would be broke, but I was like, but I want to experience life, you know? And like, you kind of just, that's why I feel like the libertarian mindset too is like, you have to be like, okay with knowing that it might not work out and shit might suck, you know? I don't know. That's the anarchist thing.
I feel like a lot of people hate me because they have a false perception of me, but it's like,
yes. When you have a strong personality and people who are not, don't get offended by this, but like people who are a bit much, or like people who are like, you know, how we are, and like people hate that shit. They cannot like deal with that shit and they hate it. And then they like, I've seen people say shit about you and I'm like, you don't even fucking know her. And like, that was like a minute after I met you in real life.
A lot of people that talk shit about me. Like a lot.
And it's stupid. It's like the stupidest shit where I'm like, but it's also people who are like, it's a life experience thing too, where they're just like, you meet people sometimes who are fucking a little much, but I love you. Like, I'm quiet, so I like being around you because you like.
We balance each other out very well in person.
Yeah.
She's a little more in person. She's a little more, but we have the same personality. We balance each other out very well. But that's why there's like so many fucking people on Twitter who talk shit about me. And like, I don't know if you know Tappy, but like the first, like we talked and then. No, but this is, I
didn't make that eye roll.
No, I get it. But she came to me and she was like, hey, I heard you were talking shit. And I was like, I've never talked shit about you. And then she, in that moment, she was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, let's get to know each other. You know what I mean? Like, she was one of the only people genuinely who ever talked shit about me or had people talking shit about me to her that came to me and was like, hey, I heard this and this and this. She was the only fucking person honest and genuine. And like, we talked it out. And she is probably like one of my best friends on Twitter now. And I wish more people could be like that to like hear something and then be like, wait, I don't fuck with that. Instead of her giving into that gossip, like she comes to me and she's like, hey, I heard you were talking shit. And I was like, no, never. And now we're like such good friends. It's like, you know, like fuck people that aren't like Tappy. Honestly. And I know she has her reputation and shit, but I fuck with her so hard because she is one of the only genuine, real people that I met that I know was hearing a shit ton of gossip about me and then just came to me and was like, hey, were you saying this shit? And I was like, no. And we talked it out. Like, I wish more people could be like that because so many people on the internet like just fucking hate me. And it's just like, why?
Well, people in those group chats and shit and they get weird.
There
was a whole on. After that Adidas ads, because I said I didn't like that Adidas, or I didn't like the boobs, I didn't body shit. I'm like, I would have just done prettier pictures. Those were like the ugliest fucking pictures of tits you could do. And like somebody like had added me into the Signal group and like there was this whole on war about me that happened because I didn't even fucking know because I have notifications turned off. I guess someone was like, "Forrest, mommy, you need to show up and talk about this shit," and I'm like, what? And like, so I didn't even find out till like a week or two later, and someone called me and we talked on the phone and we had a great conversation. She's like, "You didn't even know?" And I'm like, "I didn't even fucking know."
Exactly. And that's what they just love to talk. Like, people on Twitter are just so bored and they just love to fucking talk shit about things
all
that
it
are
was.
bored. And
That's
that's
all it was.
Respect. Oh, Tack is here.
All right, I'm gonna dip.
Is he coming in?
He's coming
There's
in
my
right now.
boy.
Okay, bye. Love you, Mom. Let's
Bye,
do a
love
hug
you.
for the
Like, get out of here, Mom. We're gonna get horny now.
Not together. She has a husband.
I'm watching from the other room
Right.
anyway. It's like I hear.
She will get horny for her husband, not each other. Let's clear that up for all the weirdos.
Yeah, don't come in for like.
Yeah,
10
no.
minutes.
She
Okay, bye.
go. Okay, bye.
Bye.
What the fuck did I just walk into?
Oh no, honey.
Wait, I gotta get my sunglasses too. Hold
Yeah,
I'm
you gotta get the
gonna
shades, dude.
see. But Tack, I would love your review on what you just watched for like the last 2 minutes. Like, please just.
I don't even know if the English language contains words descriptive enough to describe what I just witnessed personally. A thing of beauty, a thing of disgust, all in one. Who knows? Leaves you feeling
like he comes on, and then we both
Right.
leave.
right. Leaves you
Hey,
feeling
honey,
empty.
how are you? How
Yeah,
are
yearning
you?
for more. Y'all got to fix the screen shit. How you be doing the screens? I don't like how y'all do the screens. It's like super narrow. You got to choose
Well,
the
she
other
can
one.
do it. Yeah, she can do when she comes back, we'll tell her to choose the other layout.
You be doing the shit too. You do the same shit, ma.
No, I do the cool layout now where it's like at least a couple people. We were talking about you earlier. Did you hear us? Because I was like, oh, like I've always loved Tack. And then when he was said
No,
he
I
was over
can hear-
6
I can
foot, I
hear.
was like, oh my God, I love
can
Tack
hear.
even more.
I can
Wait.
hear.
What the hell just happened? What did I miss?
We were just like, so we
We
needed
talked
like
about you a
a
little
20-minute transition of like how we were gonna get the live stream to like me and Hannah and Forrest Mommy to like us three. And so my
Mhm.
mom came in and she was just like holding shit down.
Not Tack. Is this you're the first boy on, right?
Uh-oh.
You're
Yeah,
the
you
first
were the
boy.
On Liberty Ladies? I'm the first Liberty Lady, whatever the fuck. I'm a
to be
He's
honest,
transgender
he has
Liberty
like
lady.
fucking 20,000 followers, so he's
No.
good.
no, exactly.
I'm
But that's it,
nobody.
like Hannah might kill me for like having a guy on, but like at the end of the day, Hannah is my best friend, and like there was just some issues.
Yeah, streams just go a little crazy sometimes. They just go a little different, you know.
I mean, I don't like to whoever is watching, to whoever is actually gonna sit here and watch this stream up until 141. That's great. But look, there was some issues recently. A girl said that she got kicked out of the stream. Okay.
Your guys' stream?
In our stream. Okay. And I'm not gonna say who it was, but this is the thing. We started this stream. Me and Hannah had this idea like last year. We were like, hey, because like me and Hannah are genuinely like best friends. Like we text every single day about everything. We talk all the time. And
I
so
like her. I'm glad for that. I love her.
With like Hannah and a couple of the girls, like 4 or 5 of the girls, and we're like, hey, we should start a Liberty Lady stream, whatever. The first stream that we all did together, it had 6 girls.
Yeah, you had a shit ton of people on.
Right.
That's too many bitches sometimes.
Exactly.
There's too many bitches on the chat.
Slowly started dropping out. And if you look back at the history of our videos that we've done so far, me and Hannah have been in every single one. You know, and like all the other girls there were like, sometimes they could come on, sometimes they couldn't, sometimes they could just come on for a bit. And so me and Hannah realized, we were like, we need to get this like in check. Like we need to have a structure and a system. And so when we explained that system to the other girls, that it was basically like, hey, look, we love you guys, but me and Hannah are going to be running the shit. We are the only ones who are there every single fucking week. You know what I mean? Some of the girls did not like that. And so they decided on their own terms that they did not want to be a part of that. And I respect that 100%. It is no fault, but At the end of the day, when you have 6 girls involved in something, now it's 5.
And you started it. It's your rules. It's your fucking
Exactly.
rules.
And so, like, when we
Hello.
explain, like, look, me and Hannah need more structure. We want to take this shit far. We want to do this every week. When some of the girls don't like that, we respect their decision to leave.
What's so hot? What would you not like about hopping on to live streams? And like,
Right.
I don't know. People
And
get
that's
so
the
weird
we
about
were not
it.
kicking anybody out, but it was basically just like, look, when it's a Wednesday, and on Wednesday everybody is texting us like, hey, we can't be there, we can't come, whatever. Then me and Hannah are like, well, we could have had a guest on this week. You know what I mean? Like, we
Right.
just wanted more structure. And so when we explain, hey, we want more
Which is
structure,
funny coming from
When
you.
the crazy girl wants structure, when the crazy girl wants structure, you fucking follow it.
Yeah,
me
you'd
and
have to
Hannah,
listen at
it's
that point.
like, I will text Hannah and I'll be like, hey, this is what's gonna happen this week. And she'll be like, okay, cool. And then she'll say the same thing to me. And I'll be like, me and Hannah are very, very on the same page, aligned, like best friends, on the same energy. Like, she's actually my best friend. And so, like, when we kind of want to like take over the stream and be like, look, this is what we need for more structure for everybody to be happy. And some people don't like that. You know, like, that's on them. And I am so happy that they did not have themselves stay and participate in something that they didn't want to do or be a part of. But there was no beef, there was no drama with anybody. There was nothing like, and that's the thing on the internet is people will see something and they'll be like, oh, there was like a big blowout. It was nothing like that. It was just like, if people didn't want to participate in this, then don't participate. You know, but this is what
Voluntary
me and Hannah need to do.
association. Voluntary association. It's so
You would
easy.
think. But then don't be
Exactly.
mad when you disassociate yourself though and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
And so I
you
think some
chose
people
that.
disassociated from the fact that me and Hannah basically came at them and were like, this is mine and Hannah's shit now. And most girls were like, I love that, you know, because they were not here every week. They did not want to be a part of this every single week. And that's okay because people are busy. But we want to be able to have streams that we could organize. That is all of the 4 girls left. And then we wanted to have other streams, or if they couldn't be on, we have someone else on, or we have this like, we just wanted
Doing
the
the
structure.
time. It's doing the time. Like, and now that you had tacked on, but now you got tacked on. Tacked is a
this
great
is the first
like
guy.
booster.
Right.
He's a booster.
And honestly,
He's a-
Hannah might kill me a little bit. She might be like, Sarah.
So wait, so explain, because I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that. I think I've tuned in before to you guys a couple times, but just real quick, because I'm usually always working. But so I'm the first guy ever to
First
be on
guy
the set.
ever.
But was
Yeah.
that like part of the rules? Like it's only chicks?
It was not necessarily part of the rules, but like at the time we started it, there was 6 girls on the very first live stream we did. There was 6 girls.
a shit
There
ton of
was, like,
girls.
supposed to be Liberty ladies, but like I had never had an issue
Were
with
all
guys.
your like periods and shit lined up? You know how that isn't that what happens when you do
Mine
that?
and Hannah's
Yeah.
periods are probably lined up, to be honest, at this point, because we're literally best friends and we text every day. But like that was just the thing. It was like, look, me and Hannah are best friends. We want the stream to be on our vibe. And if you don't fuck with that vibe, then please do not like participate or have yourself be a name in this. And like,
How could you not fuck with that vibe, dude?
right. And some people just didn't fuck with it, and that's okay. I do not have any hate to them. We are still friends, but I don't want them to be involved in this, you know?
Right.
But you did it all. It was all girls for most of the stream tonight. So that's like. And I feel like all these streams, it's kind of fun how you can bring people on randomly,
Right.
like how you came on
right,
randomly.
and that's what we wanted. That was the thing. Me and Hannah wanted to be able to be like, hey, if I texted Hannah and I was like, hey, we're doing this, she'd be like, okay. And if Hannah texted me and was like, hey, we're doing this, I'd be like, okay, because me and Hannah are on that vibe, like we're sisters, you know, like we are on the same level. So this is like our shit. And so I just think some people didn't vibe with like the connection that me and Hannah had, and that's okay. I love
Sarah?
Hannah. She's my sister.
Sarah, I'll always vibe with you. Oh, wait, hold on. I'll always
Hella
vibe
vibes,
with
dude.
you.
But you got to get the first of all. I fuck with the hat. I do fuck with the hat. But
Thank
you got to
you.
raise the
I'm in like
glasses.
I'm in a cowboy mood tonight.
She's saving
I wear
horses.
a hat, but I don't have to wear the.
Are we wearing
How do you do
sunglasses?
how do you do the earphones with the hat? You can't.
You got to just
Right?
rock the hat over top. A little cocked back. Little cocked back. I don't know if she's cool enough for these vibes, dude. Oh
She's
shit.
Tactical.
Oh shit.
Sarah. Sarah is
Shut up.
so cool. You don't even know. I've met her in real life. We've hung out in real
No, I'm
life.
actually
You and me,
very-
Tactical, we haven't hung out in real life, but me and Sarah have
I
hung
want
out
to
in
hang
real
out
life.
with Tack in real life.
I know, me too. I want to invite him up to my Wisconsin house. We're gonna have a
She
vacation
could
together.
murder me in the woods or turn me over to the feds, one of the two,
We're
or both.
murder. We're gonna
Who
do
knows?
some murder.
Yeah,
I love
Be-
that.
eat true Hollywood stories and shit, but for like F-list celebrities.
Okay, so we're all going to Forest Mommy's Wisconsin house. I love that.
Yeah, we can set a vacation up this summer at any time. We just gotta plan it. And Tactical, you have to come. It's only like 4 hours away from you, Tactical, so you have to come.
She's already
Joshua.
geolocated my ass. Look, she's dropping the whole government.
No, I
and
know
shit.
where you live.
Fucking-
You're in
we-
Chicago
we
area.
know where
Oh my God.
I know where you live.
that Fed.
I know
theory is
everything
starting to
about
add
you.
up.
We've talked about everything over the last 6 months. So
I don't know much about Tack, but I just know that I love Tack and he could
he's
definitely-
adopted. He's adopted.
Adopted
You're
as
kind of
fuck.
like you don't know. You're like
Adopted
He's
prom
basically
night
just
dumpster
a man.
baby. Not quite that bad from what I hear, but I don't know. Jessica Wheeler, you're from over by my town. I don't know where you came from, but I
she's
think you're
from
my,
me. I know her in
Is
real
she?
life. She's from Colorado.
because I've seen her in my chats before, and I'm hearing.
Good.
Yeah.
I know, and your friends come to my chats, and I
Yeah.
love it. And then when I was on
Shout
the
out
other
Joe-
night, when I was
Joe
like,
Morgan.
I can't get on the video, but then I was in your chat the whole night while you guys were live streaming, but I couldn't get on video. I was fucked up.
Yeah,
but,
which
like,
was so what?
I love it.
Off
I'm like,
2
we're
beers.
family.
She has 2 beers, and then she's fucking fucked up. It's bullshit.
I've had a lot.
Crazy,
Okay,
man.
I just opened this up tonight, and look how much I've already had.
The fuck is
tonight.
that? That
Tell
ain't
me that.
nothing. That's like
Look how
2
much-
shots, bro.
1 night? No.
2
no.
shots.
Oh my
2
god.
shots.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Anyways,
Rookie numbers.
Wait, are we taking shots? Okay, I'm done.
I mean, I'm just been sipping on them. Why is my light so bright all
You're
of a sudden?
sipping
What the hell?
Hornito. Yeah, what the fuck? Are we getting nuked, bro? The fuck is look at fucking.
Why did it get so bright all
Why
of a
is,
sudden?
why is it daytime at the nighttime over where y'all at? What the fuck is going on, dude?
Can we have like a 2-second explanation of how Tack feels about World War III?
Oh yeah, Tact, what's your Ukraine
what-
stuff?
Are you Ukrainian?
No, she's got a gun. She's like, do you guys
Oh,
think when they were showing giving the guns to Ukrainians, do you think that was real? Was that real?
I would hope so. But how you don't know shit anyway these days. I mean, wars are fought and won by misinformation or disinformation. We've been seeing that being perpetrated on the American people for the past several years.
Hell yeah,
So,
girlfriend.
you
She
know.
got her gun. Tact, have you seen her sexy gun photos? You should.
I've
see
seen
her
a couple. Yes, I have seen a
I've
couple.
definitely sent those.
I've seen a couple. You might need something a little bit more like this for the Russians.
No,
This is
yeah,
it's a 50.
yeah, I know.
That's a 50. You could take down a Black Hawk helicopter with one of these. But yeah, the Glock. You could stay home and make us all sandwiches and then protect the kitchen with the Glock. I'll let that slide.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, that's the whole thing. That's what it's about.
Love a good
That's all
sandwich.
I want to do. I just want to make everybody
Good turkey and like a applewood smoked Gouda.
And I'm
mustard,
saying this
mayo,
as someone. I'm
diagonally
saying this as
sliced.
someone who went out
preferably.
young. I went out young to be a young, independent woman, and I've been
A
happier
strong
in my
one.
life.
So
Yeah,
independent. And now she's
but
a
I've been-
strong, dependent woman.
and I'm happier than fuck. I'm happier than
Yeah.
fuck because I'm helping another human thrive. You know, like that's what it's all about. Is you help another human thrive and like be the best they can be. You know,
What do you
like,
mean
that's
another human? Like what other human?
my other human? I was just saying like
Yeah.
my man.
Oh, okay.
You
Wait,
would
so,
love
like,
him.
when you-
You should
where-
come
where
out for the Colorado conference. You should come out the Colorado. You can stay at my house. You can stay at my
I'm
house.
at, it's in March, right?
March 12th. So I have
I'll
to
see
be
you.
there all day, March 12th. But if you get there,
I'll see.
and if you
I'm
can get to
literally
it, then
visiting
I can take you
my
home.
boyfriend, like a weekend before that. But can you explain, like, how did you meet your man?
So I used to work for this company. I was a full charge bookkeeper, and I worked for this company that eventually merged with another company. And that company we merged with, my man, Mr. Force Mommy, was like he grew up with the owner of that company, and he was like their contractor. So he's always been like a contractor building shit. So we merged and we came to our office, and then like they were like, oh, we're gonna hire this guy to build our offices out, because it was like a weird office building and had to be built out. So we met at work technically, but he was like our contractor at work, you know. And then he was like, hey, you don't have to work for a while if you don't want to. And I was like, bing, game on. Yes,
Easy
please.
button.
Like,
Easy button has been pressed.
because I put my time in. I was on my own young. I was on my own fucking young. I put my time in, and I didn't even know, because my sisters are both way older than me, and they had gotten married. It's so funny how this shit works out. So my mother didn't work with my older sisters, and then when I was in middle school, my mom went back to work. So it was normal for me that women work, you know? So I was like, okay, at high school, if I'm not going to college, I have to get a job and I move out. Like, that's just what you do. And I did that for so many years. And my sisters, at the time, my sisters weren't even fucking working, and they had a fucking nice ass life. And I didn't even fucking like get it. You know, I didn't get it at the time. And then now we're on board. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Right back to those old traditional values.
It's good, like, because I'm all about like people should be, especially if you want kids, you should be somewhat traditional. Like, that just works. It just works. But if you have someone who's dependent on you, they need to know how a dollar works. They need to know what it takes to earn a dollar. They need to know, like, you know, like, because I know so many women who got married right away and they got dependent and they had never worked. They had never they never like paid their own rent or anything like that. And they fucked up their marriages because of it, because they were like spending all this money, and like, you can't do that shit. Like, you have to understand how the fucking world works too. So that's like, now that I'm in this weird like alt-right thing, it's like how do you teach people that, you know?
I don't know. I feel like honestly sometimes you just like get lucky, because like I am in your situation, but like when I am younger, and so like I'm understanding the whole non-monogamous.
You're my daughter. You're my literal daughter.
And so it's just like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes people they get blessed to know that like, hey, this is your situation. You can have kids with this person, still be not monogamous, and like, you know, just like, you just have to know what it's. I just maybe knew younger than some people, and so did my boyfriend, that we could just like be non-monogamous, but it's like, you know, you have to go through that shit.
You have to understand too, like, what's the most important part of life. You need to make sure your belly's full, you have a house to live in, you know, you like, there are all these things that like,
guns, lots of guns.
You have to be all the guns. You have to be able to protect yourself.
And I just like know that. Like, I just know that my boyfriend, if we do not have all the bills paid, he will not go out on a Friday night trying to fuck a bitch.
Right.
You know, like, and I know but if he is,
unless you got money.
If she can bring the money home to us, then it's all good. But
pimping ain't.
But if you don't have debt, you have a lot of money. If you don't have debt.
I just think me and him are very on the same page at a very young age. So, O'Donnell for Liberty. How is
he in here? Where is he? Is he in here now? Yeah.
Justin,
O'Donnell, look, I put my shoes on. I can't see it now, but I put my shoes on. I put my shoes on the stream. He's like, you need to put your shoes on the stream and get all the fucking bitches to follow you. I was just gonna say something about what you were just saying, but I'm
about just like non-monogamy and shit.
Well, just making a relationship work, even beyond that stuff. Like, a relationship is it is a partnership, and it is just making shit work. It's all about making shit work and not feeling like, like, even my ass is taken care of so much, but I would never be like a snob about it, or never be like,
sure. No, mine is too. My ass is taken care of by my parents, so I get what you're saying. It's a different situation, but not really. But you know, like,
yeah, my man's old and he has money, but like, I didn't know about all that, and then when I figured that out, and now I want to take care of Terribly Tactical all the time. I'm like, I want to be his hero.
What she's contributed like $100 or more.
Do you guys know what? Wait, do you guys know what? Next week on March 4th, next Saturday, I will have
Yes.
my first closing. That is a Twitter client that I found on Twitter. So I will actually have made money off of Twitter. It'll be cool.
Justin's here!
Oh, did you invite Justin in? Justin!
I was like, if we got one guy, we might as well have another guy.
Thank
Like,
you
I'm
for
late.
being cool. You're like, we'll do whatever tonight. Cool.
No, honestly, yeah.
I mean,
Hannah, she knew that this was my vibe tonight, and this is the vibe I want. So it's all good.
Hey,
we have a
Justin.
snow emergency, so I can't go anywhere.
Is it snowing bad out there?
It's like 3 feet. It's not that bad.
Wait, you live in New Hampshire?
Yeah.
Okay,
He's a
so
free skater.
can
Justin,
we be
do you know
honest?
Tactical? Just wait, Justin and Tactical have to meet first. Do you guys know each other? Hey, say hey, boys. Say hi.
Hola.
Okay.
Hmm.
Did he leave? Did he leave?
Here's the link.
Oh, yeah, he'll come back.
Okay, so Justin, I have a question for you.
Sure.
So you
Were
live
you at Robbie tonight? Were you at the Robbie show tonight?
No, that's like an hour and a half away from me. I don't like going more than
Oh.
5 minutes. I'm
Right.
lazy.
Sorry.
So for one, I could never live in New Hampshire because I hate the cold
Get
Okay,
a
so-
jacket.
out there. I get it. But
Cold
the
is
second
cool.
thing, me and Jeremy, and like, I'm just gonna throw it out into the public on a live stream because I'm on fucking Twitter, you know, publicly all the time or whatever.
Fucking kick me off, bro.
No, I didn't kick you off, I swear.
No, it's
but
the government for
Your
sure.
internet was bad the other
Definitely
night,
the
too,
government.
Tashel. Anyways, go
So,
on.
Justin, this is a thing. I am sure that, and again, I'm not talking shit. Like I said, this is all out on the public because I'm big on Twitter. Jeremy Kaufman is big on Twitter. Okay, so this is just me laying it all out on the open. I
I'm little
feel
on
like-
Twitter.
I feel like me and Jeremy Kaufman have this like weird beef with each other.
Over what?
Why?
About what? I met
Who
him
the
in
fuck is
real life
Jeremy
out here.
Kaufman, dude?
Because
I met him and his wife.
I had seen some joking tweets, and I guess this was like a long time ago before I was really involved in the LP.
Oh,
But
the
I
cock
had
thing where he
seen some
told the kid to
tweets
smoke
joking
it,
around
to suck his
about
cock.
him making jokes of like, yeah, and it was like, if you're old enough to joke about this, you're old enough to suck my dick. Like, it was underage jokes, okay? And so I had seen those like very, very late, like a year after they happened. And
That's
then
what you get for watching Fakertarians.
I
Yeah,
don't
don't
even
watch
know what
those
the fuck that is.
motherfuckers.
I'm just being honest. I saw a tweet, and then you know what it was? No, you know what it actually was on MLK or someday there was like racist tweets made from the LPNH account, and I was like, this is not cool.
Oh, yeah, they did have a bad. What did they say?
Okay,
what
so
was
it
it?
wasn't like racist. It was just like really fucking poorly worded on the
It was very poorly
a
worded.
very wrong day to have that poorly worded
Right.
tweet.
And
What
so
was,
this is
what
my
was
thing.
that? It was
I
so
had
funny.
so
It was
many
kind of funny, though. It was kind of
It
funny,
was-
though.
This is the thing. On an LP account where you're a national account, like, don't fucking say that shit. You know what I mean? And so I had quote tweeted it, and one of my followers had told me, they were like, oh, this is the dude who's running the account. And they had sent me all the tweets, like what he said about like underage, like, and
But
shit.
you have to know when people send that shit on Twitter and like, don't like this guy. You have to be like,
One,
okay, whatever.
There's the best part is
Okay,
like
let
Jeremy
me-
doesn't
let me
run the
explain,
account.
though. Let
Like-
me finish explaining. Okay. So I saw all of those Jeremy Kaufman tweets probably very, very late. Okay. Because I was not involved in the LP. And so I started popping off on Twitter. I was like, why the fuck would anybody even question age of consent? Like, you're fucking gross. I don't want to be in a
Well,
involved in people. Let me finish. I don't want to be in a party involved with people questioning age and consent, whatever. Like, I was very angry. And then, like, recently, like, me and Jeremy, like, he ratioed me on Twitter, and there's been a couple tweets I've tweeted that he's replied to. And this is, let me finish. So now I feel like me and Jeremy Kaufman have this weird kind of beef.
You guys are fine. I'm sure you're fine.
But that's just like my thing is like, I don't hate Jeremy Kaufman, but I can admit when someone fucked up. Those tweets were fucking gross. I'm sure he knows that by now. Tweeting that from an LP national account is fucking gross. Don't do that shit. But like, because you do that, I'm not gonna hate you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, because we post dumb shit all the fucking time. We post dumb shit all the
I tweeted
fucking
some fucked up shit that I've gotten canceled for, and I was like, I hope people don't only judge me for that. And I don't only judge Jeremy Kaufman for that, but like that's what I'm saying is I feel like now me and him have this like weird beef. Where like
okay.
I feel like
You gotta
You
just
guys
pull
are
up on
fine.
him. You gotta pull
I
up on
love
him with the strap.
I love Jeremy. I had brunch at Jeremy's house last Saturday. I'm going to hang out with him and Rachel tomorrow. They're great, awesome people.
I met them. They both came out here, and I met them and their babies. That's the thing is, all of us like when you're so online, and especially when you're like,
yeah,
you just
my
say
only impression of him is being so online, and I don't like that because I feel like he's a good guy. And so I would love if I could just like sit down and talk to him and like see how he genuinely is. You know.
So here's a funny. I'll tell you a funny story. I have a good friend who really was angry with Jeremy over those like the tweets, and I'll actually defend Jeremy on them. Like that kid was fucking stupid.
Which tweets?
The suck my dick tweets.
Okay.
And we're down at the fire at Porkfest.
I don't think there's anything to defend. I think they were disgusting, and if he can admit they were wrong, that's cool, and we're good. You know, but I just don't think that's funny.
I don't think they were funny. I think he phrased his
and he
argument
knows
in
they
the
were
horrible
wrong,
way.
and that's fine. That's totally fine.
But we were sitting down at the fire one morning at Porkfest, and by like morning, I mean like it was like we stayed up till sunrise doing MDMA and LSD. So
I can't even spell those things.
Yeah, I know, right? It's hard. It was a great night though, and somebody made a joke about like canceling people, and my friend from Florida, she was there, and she is this tiny little girl. She's like maybe 90 pounds soaking wet, and my other friend, who's a big guy built like a brick shithouse, he's just like makes a joke. He's like, "Yeah, Jeremy Kaufman's one bad tweet away from getting a wood chipper," and this little girl just loses her goddamn mind. Fuck you. Jeremy Kaufman is an amazing man. He's a wonderful father. You're a horrible fucking person. And I'm restraining her. I'm like, I am way too high for this.
No, and I get that. And that's my thing with Jeremy because like I have been canceled. Like I made some stupid fucking Holocaust.
You would like him in real life because I've met you both in real life. You guys
I feel
are good
like right now we have a beef because we only know each other's like internet persona, and I would genuinely love to sit down and like, or at least DM him and be like, hey, look, we're good. But I feel like right now there's just like this weird beef, and like I don't fuck with it because I think that when he tweeted those things, he didn't know what he was really doing. He didn't really think it through. And I'm not a cancel person.
Edgelord.
I do not cancel anybody. And I think those tweets are fucked up and he probably regrets it. But like that's the thing. I do not cancel him. I do not hate him for that. But like that was also me reacting off things that I saw a year late. And being
libertarian cancel culture on Twitter is bullshit. Like libertarian Twitter tried to cancel me for telling a bitch that she needed to get hit.
Right. And I get it. And
they were like, what? Fucked? Is that
real quick? I'm trying to share this shit. And fucking Sarah, what the fuck is your Instagram? Or do you not?
Sarah Lampy.
Can you see the comments?
Oh, sorry.
Hold on. I'll make it like a okay. But yeah, that's all I'm saying with the James shit. Like, I feel like, and I'm not trying to be like conceited, but I feel like right now I'm big enough in the liberty community that people know who I am. And if he heard the word liberty thought, I don't want him to have a false impression of me. And I don't want to have a false impression of him. So
his wife reached out to me when they wanted to meet, and she knows I post fucking nudes and shit. And she was like, yeah, we want to meet up. Like, they're totally cool people.
I fucking popped off. You know, I was like, why are people in the community that are questioning age of consent? Like,
listen to it this way, Sarah. Think about it this way. Think about like when you frame the argument differently. Don't frame the argument as questioning age of consent. Frame the argument as like, why have we made the age of consent something so fucking arbitrary as a number? Because the point Jeremy was making, and his exact words were, if you're old enough to have an opinion on how I should live my life, you're old enough to suck a dick.
Right, and that's on because my personal opinion, the age of consent should be 20. But I feel like
But
that
it should also be the age to vote if you're going to make it something arbitrary.
Right, but that is something that me and Jeremy could sit down and have a conversation about. And I feel like I got a little bit caught up in my like social media presence, and so did he. And now we have like a false perception.
He's nice to talk to in person. You would like. He's
I
pretty
feel
cute.
like that's what I'm saying.
He's
Like
hot.
if we sat down and had a conversation, like I think we could genuinely be cool and friends. But I think right now he only sees me as like the liberty thought that like very, very hypes up, you know what I mean, shit. And like he also probably hypes up shit. And so I would love to just sit down and like talk to him over the phone or whatever, and to just like work shit out and like know it. Because if he's big in the liberty community and he's making a difference, I want to know, you know, because I'm involved in the LP here, and I just want to know we're on the same page. And I would just love to like.
He's on the page. He's on the same
Right,
page. All the New Hampshire people, I feel, are on the same page.
Right.
Well, I mean,
Yo, real
Nick
quick,
Sarwark
I
is a
just
New
want to
Hampshire
say
person.
this. I have no idea what the fuck's going on or who
I
you're
love
even
it,
talking about.
Tactical.
keep it that way.
And then also, you fucking Sarah, you got me blocked or something because your shit is not coming up, fool.
I do not.
Like, what the fuck?
It's okay. So people are trying to cancel me tonight for war profiteering.
Yeah, how dare you?
Right.
What did you say to words?
All the cool kids are doing it.
Let me show you what I did.
Yeah, that's literally what
Was
I
it on
typed
Twitter?
in. It's not coming up.
Oh, hold on. Let me find it.
Are you guys not connected on Instagram?
I
don't
have
know
no
what
idea.
Instagram is.
I have no idea. Oh, now, yeah, I was blocked, you shady fuck.
Was it, wait, I blocked you?
I guess, because now that you just
What's your
unblocked,
Instagram? Okay, I never even unblocked you. Hold on, but Justin,
why was I blocked to begin with?
I have a favor to ask you.
Is it about war profiteering? Because I'm really
No,
good at
it's about Jeremy Kaufman.
that. Okay.
Okay.
This guy sounds
You
like
don't
a
have
dick.
He's kind of great.
He's not bad. He's not. I like
No,
him.
but all I'm saying is, if I followed him right now,
Uh-huh.
would you be willing? You don't have to say yes, but would you be willing to reach out to him and just be like, "Hey, Liberty Thought wants to talk to you. She is not mad. She just wants to talk. Is that cool?" And then me and him.
I'm gonna see him tomorrow morning. We're having breakfast tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. Just let him know that I want to follow back. He can unfollow me after, because I know my Twitter's a little crazy.
You guys would get along fine. I know.
Yeah,
Because like I said, I met you in real life, and I've met Jeremy in real life.
You know what I
You
mean?
guys would
Right.
get along.
Because I don't have a good impression of him right now, and I don't like that, and I just want to talk.
Yeah.
You would like him, Sarah. He's normal. He's and his wife
And I
is
don't
cool as
feel like that
fuck.
right now, because I've only seen horrible shit that people have been saying about him, and then I made my Twitter have a fucking rant about shit that he, and I don't like that, and I just want to be on the same page. So if you could please just let him know, like, hey, follow me back so we can talk, I would really appreciate that.
Justin, if you could set the orgy up, that'd be cool.
It's Friday night at Porkfest.
At
I'm
Pork
down.
Fest, that sounds like a fucking one hell of a time.
I know, tactical. Sorry, we're talking libertarian nerdy shit. Sorry.
No, I'm down with it. I'm all down for all types and any types
I'm gonna
of the
DM
freedom
him right
movement,
now.
for sure. For sure.
All right. But share my war
wanna-
profiteering. Maybe you'll get canceled for it.
Yeah, what are you getting canceled for? Is it on Twitter or where?
Well, I shared it on Twitter, I think, but it's more people are mad that I'm profiting off of war.
Because
Everybody
you
else
work
is
for
doing it, dude.
Raytheon? Do you work for
I said-
Raytheon or Lockheed?
I said I would rather profit than let Raytheon profit. And well, I made a shirt with I took the Black Power fist and I just made it the Ukrainian flag.
Oh my god, life is so crazy right now. Oh my god, I love it.
And then I
love
made
it.
a shirt that just had the Ukrainian flag with text in it that says Russian warship, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And how do we even know any of that's real?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
how
the
do we
thing,
even
'cause
know if it's
everything,
real?
dude, everything is misinformation, dude,
I'll
until
tell
it's
you what,
not.
it's been fucking wild. Well, I haven't been
You guys like my
following-
guns? This is what
Yo,
matters.
you got a permit? You got a permit for those things?
Yeah, permit for this.
Permit? You should move to New Hampshire. You don't need no permit.
No,
I can't do New Hampshire.
But
I can't do New
I
Hampshire.
can't.
of course not,
Yes,
man.
you can.
Whoa. Dude, you
I
got to
wanna-
learn
I
how to
wanna
live in
live at
austere
8,000. I like-
environments, dude.
I like being at 8,000 feet above sea level. New Hampshire's like 6,000. Let's call it.
No, permits
A
are
measly
overrated.
2,000 different feet over fucking.
I'm
sea.
not in an apartment. I'm in the country, man. Colorado is. If you're in
Oh.
Colorado and if you're in Denver
I don't
and
need
you have
any
sex,
for
you're in the
this.
Mile High Club, no matter what.
Huh. That's
New
cheating,
Hampshire,
I feel
this
like.
is just legal.
It's what?
This is just legal in New Hampshire. I don't need no
Yeah.
permits.
What
It's
the
really
fuck is
quiet.
that? What is that? A PS90?
I mean, it's a quiet one.
Yeah.
Is that a
Well,
printed one?
it's a P90.
We got gun boys on. We got
Dude.
Sarah. Your
I'll
guys are gonna
I
get
already-
hits because
this-
we
I
got
got
guns
the-
on.
I got the 50 right here. Here's the 50 right here,
Nice.
chilling. I've
Are
got
you
my
printing
Benelli
right now,
M4.
Tactical? I don't hear
No,
it.
I'm not. I just
Okay.
got back, or I just got home from
It's not.
work, and then I hopped on here because you guys are fucking harping, dude. Dude, I got the fucking.
I don't have
Justin, Tactical works. Yeah, Tactical works at a gun shop. So he's
Yes, Mason, we see your comments, but you're not commenting anything interesting. So.
I can't go to the shop anymore. There was a range I used to go to
I
all
wish-
the time.
I wish I had.
And,
in New Hampshire. In New Hampshire.
Yeah, they won't. I can't go to the range anymore because I went into the range one time. Something that was really small, really fast, and really quiet. And I'm like, this will be fun, dude. And then the range manager comes over. He's like, "Hey, do you have paperwork for that?" I'm like, "I gotta go."
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck paperwork, bro. Paperwork.
That's
is
in Colorado. There's a couple ranges out in the like forest areas where you can just go. Sometimes scary people show up, but you can just go shoot, and you're in like out in the mountains, and it's fine. What's that?
This is a
12
Benelli.
gauge?
Yeah, it's a Benelli M4 H2O.
Also, this is a fucking airsoft.
I hope Hannah. Yeah, I should go get a gun. I'm the only one who never shows
Yeah,
guns.
you
on
never
my thing.
show
This
freaking
is
guns,
an
dude.
airsoft
I don't even
gun.
believe
I'll
you got
show it.
guns.
I'll show it. I can't. I got.
I'm gonna get a gun. I'm gonna go get a gun. Hold on.
Oh, she's going to get a
Terrible.
gun. This is going to get. I see your sub gun with the P90, and I raise you an MP5.
Okay.
So
Well, hold on a second. Now I
Go
gotta go
ahead.
back in my closet. Now I gotta go get an actual
Go
assault rifle.
go back in the closet. I'm just gonna fucking sit here and nut to Tack's fucking gun and wish that I was fucking him because his guns.
This ain't nothing. This is not even scratching the surface.
Oh my god! Wait, where do you live in fucking?
I live in Chirac. I need them shits.
I know. I feel you. I'm like, I live in the ghetto. Not really the ghetto, but kind of the ghetto. I need to. I can't do the fucking cowgirl jacket anymore. I'm sorry, guys.
Why not, dude? I was digging it with the hat. You took the hat off too, dude. What the fuck?
Look, I grabbed the 17. I grabbed the 17.
You grabbed the 17.
I'll change on camera though, if that makes you guys feel
But-
better.
All right, so
You're mad.
this right here is
You're
the
mad.
single most expensive thing I own, and I own a piece of cardboard trading card worth over 50 grand.
Dude, is
So-
it a
Wow,
fucking
you're
first
so
edition Charizard, bro? How much you
No,
want?
it's a Black Lotus.
Oh, nice.
What's a Black Lotus? A gun?
It's a magic card.
I need to.
Look at
So,
this shit. Look at this
are you
shit,
familiar with the
motherfucker.
history of the word assault rifle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's only ever one gun in the world that you can actually call an assault rifle. And when the Germans
Fully
were developing
automatic,
the-
right?
No, when the German, well,
You
yeah,
got an STG 44, bro? Ha. Nice.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
STG 44?
Yeah. The Sturmgewehr. The Nazi. That's where the AK Kalashnikov was inspired from to build the AK, is from the Sturmgewehr.
So when the Nazis were developing their battle rifle, Hitler asked them to develop a battle rifle, and they came back with the STG 44, and Hitler named it the Sturmgewehr, or
Sturmgewehr?
whatever the fuck it is. It translates to assault rifle because he wanted it to scare his enemies.
Sarah, did you see? I brought a gun in, Sarah. Did you see it?
Look at that.
I
Wait,
don't
can
know.
we all get like a fucking? Can we all get a thumbnail really quick? Can everybody just hold
Yeah,
their
wait.
shit
Let's
up?
everyone put their gun up. Everyone put their gun up for a second. So we can
Well,
get a
which
good
one? I
thumbnail.
only got two hands.
All of them.
This is
Hey, one
bullshit.
bomb. We need
Well,
a
hold on.
thumbnail. Okay?
Hold on.
Shit.
I even painted my nails today, so it looks really good.
Can I get the 50 in frame? We got the 50.
Yeah, do it. You ready?
I'm so glad. I love that all of us can defend ourselves. Isn't that such a good feeling?
Amen. Okay, ready?
What's that one? What's that, Justin? Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, that'll be
Yeah,
your
got it.
thumbnail. That'll be your thumbnail.
Thumbnail. I love it. Well, I had Hannah somewhere in there.
I
Oh
hope
my
she doesn't
God.
mind that boys came on.
Why would there be a problem?
I really don't think she will. I feel like genuinely because we're trying to shift directions with how the stream goes, and I don't think she'll care.
Well, and it's sometimes like if people want to jump on and just chat about shit, then yeah, like let's.
Well, I
do
thought
it.
you said too. I thought you said too that it wasn't even from the beginning. It wasn't against the rules. So why is it a problem now?
It's not a problem now.
It's
It's not. No. It's good. Like me and Hannah are very on the same level about the YouTube shit. Like she's my best friend. I love her so much. We are very
Tactical is a great tactical, and Justin too is great to get people.
No, they're both like
you.
the very good first guys to have on the stream.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Justin was well. I wonder if I went on Justin. Yeah, I was on Justin before terribly, but Justin, I went on fucking drunk and we had a good time. That
was funny shit. Then, like 10 minutes before the stream was supposed to start, she messages me. She's like, "Hey, I'm kind of drunk. Is that okay?" I'm like, "It's not gonna fucking change."
Right.
You used me in your intro where I'm like, I'm gonna get canceled for talking to you. So
I also have a clip of you that just says, "I don't fucking care. I'm hot."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or I'm like this. I'm like, I don't care. I'm hot. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
That's literally me on anything I do.
Like, that's why Sarah, that's why I love you, and that's why I wish more people could get to know you in real life.
You know, I get why they don't, is because I do like OnlyFans, and it's very easy to roast an OnlyFans girl. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, people, yeah.
But it's like, I'm such a nice, like, I have zero issues with my sexuality. If every guy in the world wants to jack off to my tits, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm glad I'm making the world a better place. You know, like
we're adding value to the world.
Right. And like most of the guys,
you got a fucking OnlyFans too, Ma?
No, but I've been around for a long time because I'm older than all you motherfuckers. Right. I've been on the internet posting slutty pictures since like 2006. Okay,
she's got her fucking like merit badge
a month.
She's got her merit badge, dude.
Imagine if you charged like $1 a month for your nudes feed.
Dude, I can't even get a fucking $1 a month on Patreon.
I get so many, especially the mommy thing. So many people like message me like, "Oh my god,
my mommy."
And I try my hardest. Like,
we can make for like doing a porno. Like, how much do you think we could sell?
We could do pretty good. And like, if we got like our, I'd be down. We can have fun. I'd be down because that's my whole thing is I could never get into the porn thing because I hate faking sex. But we'd be real. We could do it for real.
Yeah, I mean, no comment. But yeah, I think I would have like legit sex.
That's like Brandy Love. Brandy Love was on Josh Smith's podcast at one point, and she's like, and I know I've kind of followed her, and she's like kind of a swinger. That's how she got into porn, and like, and like, she's like, I'm not doing it unless I'm turned on, and I'm like, that'd be the only way I would fucking do it. Is I have to. Yeah, I can't fake that shit. Like, and you watch it, and you're like, when people fake it, and you're like, ugh.
We could do like my mommy stepdaughter porn.
What the fuck?
Hell yeah, I'm all about this. That's why I love Brandy Love.
Amen.
All of a sudden, Liberty got stuck in the dryer. She's stuck in the dryer and shit. All of a sudden,
Zach is here. Everybody has to give a shout out to Zach immediately. Zach, we love you.
So Pornhub put
shout out
sanctions
Zach
on Russia today.
Hey Zach.
Pornhub what? I don't know about Russia. Like
Pornhub put sanctions on Russia. So if anybody in Russia tried to visit Pornhub, they got a block screen with a Ukrainian flag.
Ooh, we're not about that shit here, motherfuckers. We're not about that fucking blockade shit.
Do you guys think, as men that are smart, do you guys think World War III is gonna happen?
No. Fuck yeah, but not in the way that everybody thinks it's going to. And one could argue, that's what I'm saying. One could argue we're already in the midst of it, and there's just certain people haven't started participating yet.
So what's far more concerning that nobody's talking about, like, sure, Russia's invading Ukraine, and everyone wants to talk about that.
Didn't China just invade fucking?
Yeah. China sent the fighter.
China did shit. What did China do?
Taiwanese airspace yesterday.
Some Chinese ass shit is what the fuck they're doing. Some communist Chi-Com party shit is what the fuck they're doing.
They issued a big statement yesterday saying they refuse to condemn Russia's invasion of Ukraine because they're going to need Russian help to wrest American control of Taiwan.
Yeah, I keep seeing they're like, oh, we need China to deal with this and blah blah. It's like, what? Why? What the fuck? Like, why do we need Chinese shit?
I'm just okay. So let's ask the smart men. if
Shout out to
World War
Justin for
III
enjoying spaghetti live on the live chat.
Oh, I love
appreciate that,
Justin.
dude.
He's
Because
the
not
best.
only is this a freedom-oriented live chat,
Hell
it's
yeah.
also, what are they, a mukbang? Is that what they call
A
it? What
Oh
is it?
yeah, when you get the mukbang.
We're
Yeah.
getting
Like,
extra
I do
views
a lot
right
of
now.
shots, and
That's
then
marketing.
it.
Marketing genius.
But let's ask the two men, because we haven't talked about this. So, men, tomorrow, if there was like World War III declared, like
Yeah.
as us two being your women friends, like what would you hope that we had ready? Like, what do you think that really means? You know what I mean?
As ready for y'all or ready for what?
No, like ready for, like, in order for me to survive World War III, like what would I need right now as a
In
woman?
order for you to survive World
pussy.
War III,
That's
you
all
would.
you need.
You
All
need to
you need
find
is-
a competent man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a stepdad
And
currently.
we have to be able to like hold the household down. That's
Right.
what
You
it's
got to be
about.
able to cook and clean and do medical shit. You need to be
But,
able
like,
to beans,
how
bullets,
bad
and
do you think
band-aids.
it's
And by
actually-
clean, like you need
Like
to know how to
clean,
clean
it's
a deer.
different, like-
you need to know how to clean
Yeah,
a rabbit.
so-
like
Right. No, listen, this is the thing. So
Okay.
if you are seriously talking about like preparedness of any aspect for any situation, which
Right.
obviously
Like,
as the
that's
days
mom
go
was being
on,
together,
like
yeah.
it's only getting worse. And to think that it can't happen here is naive at best. So
I
you
think
know,
I was naive, yeah.
you have to have the equipment, but more so you need to know how to use it, and then you need to be able to improvise, adapt, and overcome when you don't have ideal conditions, ideal weather, ideal supplies, whatever it may be. But
Ideal
the thing,
bread for sandwiches.
Like people
Right,
are fawning
sandwiches,
over the
very
Ukrainian
important.
girls posting selfies with their AKs today. Like there's a bunch of fucking gorgeous
It's hot.
little Ukrainian
hot.
girls.
I've seen that,
Dude, I would
yeah.
adopt one, dude. I would adopt one.
Oh, I would
Yeah.
invade that Ukrainian.
She's got to bring her AK with though, because
Right.
I need
But
it for
like
the
the
collection.
reality is she's fucking useless. Like
Right.
her-
So
it's
this
like
is
you're looking at the picture and she's sitting there. She's in uniform with her AK and her fucking.
You think they're
finger-
useless?
This is this.
They're
I will tell you.
useless?
Listen, I will
Fingernails
tell
are
you this. I will
manicured.
tell you this. I will tell you this. I will tell you this. You can die from a lucky bullet just as well as a precisely aimed one from a trained combatant. So there's that. And if it's just firepower to keep somebody's head down while you guys move from a different location, then that's still useful. Plus, just the will, the sheer will of people in that situation is an important thing and should not be disregarded. But at the same time, as far as the women are concerned, they should not be fighting unless they absolutely have to. But they do need to know how to be nurses. If I come back from the fucking shithole all day and I got a bullet through my leg or whatever the fuck, you need to be able to treat that shit, clean
I have
that shit,
tourniquets.
stitch it up.
I have
Like you have to
tourniquets.
have the supplies. You have to know what you're doing. And like you can't just be, because dead weight, you can't carry dead weight. Okay. That dead weight needs to be dropped.
Right.
That's what
because you
people
gotta-
have
you
should have
gotta
been
go.
like.
You
People
gotta
have
go.
been should have been like stocking up on first aid supplies for sure.
Well, it's not
I
as
got-
it's not as glorious as buying all the guns and the ammo and all that.
I got
kind
an
of
AED.
bullshit.
hey,
I got
no,
it. My
listen, like,
Christmas
there's all
present
kinds
was
of
an
ways.
AED.
Like as a woman, as a hot woman, you can make a difference in a combat theater in an alternative way too. Like these fucking these Ukrainian girls
You think-
posting
are we
selfies with
hot?
their
Are you
AKs
saying
and
we're
their
hot? Are you saying
manicured
we're
fucking
hot?
nails. The manicured nails. Those girls aren't going to dig a fucking trench. Those girls aren't going to get online. They're not going to fucking low crawl.
Well, they
into
might
heavy
if they
fire.
have to, dude.
I
They
painted
might if
my
they
own
have to.
today,
This is
and
the
I
thing.
will.
This
I'll
is
get
a
them
modern
dirty.
war. This is a new warscape. There's
Right.
Russian soldiers that are fucking on Tinder trolling for tail in Kiev. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, get on
Right.
Tinder, start swiping
Right.
right, get in bed with that Russian kid, slit his throat in his sleep, and demoralize his unit.
Right,
For
but
sure,
like, that's what I'm
for
like,
sure.
okay,
But that's some like Inglorious Bastards level shit. And if for people that are not used to living that lifestyle of
I'm not
warrior
used
in a
to it at
garden, not
all.
gardener in a war,
But like
it's hard
so I
to.
guess like for me as like a woman living in the Bay Area, and I'm not gonna say how many guns we have. I unfortunately lost all of my guns in a boating accident.
It doesn't
and-
matter. As long as you're in the Bay Area, you're fucked.
They're all gone.
Look,
They're all
the
gone.
If it's
reality is,
time to
like,
dig them, if it's time to bury them, it's time to dig them up and put them.
But what about
like,
okay?
Sarah, you're
what about-
most honestly, realistically,
That
your
looks cool
first
with my
step.
pearl.
If like it
That
looks
looks
like
cool.
there's like a shit hits the fan situation around the fucking corner, your first step is to get the fuck out of the Bay Area because
But,
that's a
okay,
deep water
but-
sport.
What if realistically in Minecraft, me and all the people that I know in my family could take out every single one of my neighbors down to here in 5 blocks? Are we still
Karma's a
that
bad
fucked?
karma's a bad bitch, and you can't fuck her. I'll tell you that much. And you don't ever want to be stuck in that situation, because if you don't want
But
a
if they
fight,
come after you
realistically, no, for
first,
sure, no. But you don't want a fight, because a fight draws attention, and then the attention draws other people that
Okay,
might
so
want to
you
fight.
think me living in the Bay Area, regardless, I'm fucked?
No, you're not fucked in the least bit.
If you
But
can get out, you're
that
not
being
fucked.
said, well, even if you can stay, you might not be fucked, depending on who you are, what you got, and what you know. So, and
Well,
who you
I'm
know.
not saying
So
what
it
I
all
got and what I
depends.
know.
Well, right.
Say
you have
if
to
one
defend
side-
yourself for a while.
Let's just say what I got and what I know can out survive anybody here, unrealistically in Minecraft. You know what I mean?
But that being said, also, no offense, but from somebody who's living in the Bay Area, that's a drop in the bucket, somebody pissed in the ocean, to somebody who lives in Kansas. So, and it all depends too. And one could argue that with higher density of population in city environments, that there is a higher propensity of conflict. Therefore, you would need more supplies than somebody who's living in fucking buttfuck nowhere.
That's my issue right now, is because like I get so much shit on Twitter. People are like, "Oh, how could you still live in California? This and that, whatever." But it's like my older brother has my fucking niece who is like 14 months old. She is like my world. And I'm like, if anything was to happen to my niece, I don't care what happens to me. Like, I will die. Like, if my niece dies, and I will put a fucking bullet to my head and die. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. So it's like when people are sitting here being like, "Oh, you need to get out, you need to get out," and I'm like, well, my niece is not getting out, so I'm gonna stay here with her, and I will be here to defend her. But if something was to happen to her, I'm fucking dead. I'll kill myself. You know, like I don't have a reason to live after that. You know what I mean? So that's why it's just like, I don't know, people who were not raised in the Bay Area, they don't get it. You know, like they don't get what it's like to have family here that means everything to you. They just don't get it.
The question is like, how bad do you think shit's gonna get? Because if shit goes nuclear, like 15 years ago, some fucking think tank did the study and they broke it down where if a nuclear blast were to go off in the 35 largest metropolitan areas in the country simultaneously, the only actual place in the country that would be free from any kind of fallout,
and only for a matter of time.
Yeah, it was Jericho, Kansas.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I guess this is it. Okay. I guess if there was like nuclear bombs that were set off in the Bay Area, and after those bombs were set off, I heard that my baby niece was still alive, I would do everything in my fucking will to go get her and bring her back to me where I am. She's like 40 minutes away from me. I would bring her back to here. Okay. And then say I got her here. I would do everything in my power to keep her alive and live and survive because of her. But if there was a bomb that went off and then I heard that it killed all of them, my older brother, my niece, my nephew, I'd be like, meh, fuck it. I don't care. Like, I would just die.
So I'm going to tell you a story about like one of the hardest things I think women have to overcome in any kind of survival situation.
I love the hair force, mommy. I love it. And also, speaking of that, with something we are definitely severely underestimating, as Mason Parsons brings up, is the power of the pigtail. So let's just not forget.
Oh, we did a pigtail.
For one.
I'll do that next. Oh yeah.
So when I was at SEER school, and if you're not familiar with SEER school, it's the school people in the military go to learn how to escape imprisonment and get back to main lines, and a lot of wilderness survival and everything like that, and stupid fucking bullshit. It's mostly attended by infantry, special forces, airborne units, air assault units, and airborne medics. So
Justin
anybody who works in a helicopter and
Justin's
infantry
been all over this shit. Justin knows what the fuck's going on.
When I was in SEER school, we had a handful of nurses in our fucking training unit. They were flight nurses from the Air Force. They were some badass bitches. Like they had gotten through fucking flight nurse school. They'd gotten through fucking PJ school. Like these were badass bitches. But one part of SEER school is after you're held captured and pretty much tortured for 3 fucking days, they put you on a 26-mile forced march. You have to go 26 miles and you haven't eaten in 3 days. You haven't had water in 3 days. And it's a race because at the end of that 26 miles, they tell you is a full meal. You get a full meal at the end of that 26 miles.
Do you have to walk it? Are they walking or running it?
You're running your ass off because it's also
probably with kid on too.
First come, first serve. There is exactly 24 meals for the 25 people in the unit at the end of that. So the person who gets there last doesn't eat.
Yeah.
What they don't tell you when you leave fucking captivity and you start that fucking run is that when you get to dinner isn't cooked for you. It's not a prepared and served meal. There's 24 cages. There's 12 rabbits and 12 chickens.
Right.
The first 12 guys who got there who know exactly what they're fucking doing, just grab a chicken, wring its neck, start cleaning, and start cooking.
Is this army? Wait, is this army?
I've
or
choked
what
a
is
chicken in my day, but
This is
not
like
the kind we're
army,
talking
like,
about.
separate
But
shit. Yeah.
is Martha your
Air
mother,
Force or
Sarah?
Army?
Martha's my mom. Yeah, Martha's my mom.
Okay,
The
because
last
speaking
two
of the
people to get
chickens,
there
you
were the
got to
two
kill a
flight
chicken.
nurses. The two
Right.
flight nurses, two of the most badass women I've ever seen in the fucking military.
Is this Air Force, Justin?
They
Air
were
Force?
Air Force.
Okay.
I was Army, but they are the last two to fucking get there because they were slower than all the guys in the unit. Doesn't matter how badass they are, they're not as physically capable as all the guys in the unit, and they couldn't make it in time. There's
I'm okay
one
with that.
rabbit
okay with
left
that.
for the two of them, and they're told you can share the rabbit if you guys want to share the rabbit, but a rabbit's not a fucking meal.
They have to eat the eyes, and they eat the
They
eyes.
both
The
dropped
rabbit
out of
eyes.
Brain.
steer school that day because neither one of them could bring themselves to kill the rabbit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could kill a fucking rabbit.
That's just like my thing, I guess, because I get a lot of people on Twitter giving me shit like, "Oh, how could you still live in the Bay Area, like, and love liberty and shit?" And it's like, well, you don't fucking understand.
You're
that my
so
niece-
base.
Why can
You're
you not
so
live?
fucking base.
Why
I don't
does
even
loving
know how
freedom
you...
have anything to do with your
That's
geological
what I'm saying,
location?
though. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. Because if you were to put me in the situation of an apocalypse and my older brother, say it was an apocalypse, we were all going to die, and he texted me and he was like, "Hey,
I don't
your
think you have
niece will
fucking
still
cell
be
signal in the
alive.
apocalypse.
Your baby niece will still be alive if you get here and can save her." I would do everything I could to go save her because she is my world. She is my life. She is the reason that I'm alive. If I could go fucking be where I am today, even in the Bay Area, and go save her and bring her back here, I would do it. But if I fucking knew living here that like there was a nuclear bomb that exploded all of them and they all died, I'd be like, I don't give a shit. Kill me. I don't have anything to live for.
Your
Literally.
mom's hilarious.
That's
by the way.
That's why it's like that's
So
why
the
it's
Bay
like
Area, nobody
frustrating.
would nuke the Bay Area. Here's the thing: the Bay Area.
Yeah, you guys already nuked yourselves for the most part. I feel like.
Yeah, it's an incredible tactical target. Like it'll be one of the. If anybody ever wants to invade the U.S., the Bay Area is going to be one of the first targets, but it won't be a nuke target. It'll be the
Right.
site for an amphibious landing because it's a
Yeah.
deep water port. And
They'll
it can
red
handle
dawn
a
your
full
ass.
amphibious landing.
Yeah.
The Chinese
And nobody's
need
going
that
to stop them.
port.
Nobody's
Right,
going
and
to
they'd
stop.
also need the deep water port. They would need a functioning port. They're going to need L.A.,
Right.
the Bay Area, Portland, New York, Boston.
Right.
Yeah.
In Tampa. They're going to need those ports to be able to develop any kind of infrastructure or supply chain.
Justin,
What?
I did my shoes tonight. Did you notice?
I
had my
see.
shoes.
Wait,
I
what
liked your
happened with the
idea.
flags?
I
dude?
like you
the
were
flags.
right. Well, Justin said this week, like maybe I should show the shoes and then the red pill all these fucking dumb bitches. And I'm like,
Yeah, I can fuck with it. But
You should
but
put
most
some
I'm
LED.
like the only girls I'm on is with like Sarah, and she's cool. So like, what other girls can I like churn? I don't know, but
You should get some LED pop lights like I have behind my TV. Like
I have some I could put up.
pop some colors in the shelves.
Maybe I'll just do shoe. I felt like the shoe thing was more like it's too bourgeoisie, like too like.
You bougie, mommy.
yeah, you
I'm a
bougie
little
as fuck.
bougie.
You got a
You know,
leopard
and I'm
print
bougie
fucking
without
Dago
being
on.
in debt. You can be bougie without going into debt. That's the thing. Yeah, you get a man to build you a fucking closet, and that's what it goes. Like
Spend all my money on guns.
Your
fine.
shoe
gun
collection is
accessories.
probably worth more than my car.
it's not. No, it's not because I don't have expensive. I only have one pair.
You ain't got one pair of red bottoms in there. That whole closet. You
I
ain't
don't
got a
have
pair of
any red bottoms. I don't have any red bottoms because
You
they
got
don't
some
fit
spray
my
paint.
I have some Fendi's. I have one pair of Fendi's. I have one pair of Fendi's, and the
Fendi?
rest are just
That Gucci Louis Prada. Look at
Italian. The Fendi's
Forgot about it,
Italian.
huh? Forgot about
And
it.
I
huh?
love those shoes. I love
Your
those
ass
shoes. But the
looks
rest of the
fucking
shoes,
SS as fuck. Talk about it.
my ass does.
I said, well, I love it. You hoes are funny. I like it.
This is
Am
the
I-
best
Am I
live
the
stream
only
ever.
one
When
here?
shit hits the fan, you got to stop drinking
No, I
alcohol.
have some still. I have
Nah,
some
fuck
still
that.
right
I've been prepping.
there. Here's girlfriend.
Let's take more. Cheers.
That alcohol is going to be more useful as a disinfectant.
No, I got
Yeah.
all that shit.
I got
the
an
beans,
AED.
bullets,
So
and
for
band-aids.
Christmas, I asked Mr. Forest Mommy, I said, listen, I want an AED, and they're kind of pricey. Like you can get them.
Sometimes you can get them through your insurance for cheap, depending on if you could like.
Well,
fake
we got one like refurbished, so I have a refurbished one I got for Christmas. So I have an AED. Everybody.
Did he let you try it out on him?
So if I have you, no, I'm more worried about me. Justin knows. I'm more worried about me. I'm like, one of these days I'm gonna have a heart problem because I'm a bad girl. But like,
yeah, we know.
Good to have one around. It really is good to have one just in case, because I do a lot of volunteering on like trails where we go hiking and stuff, and so it's like, I have it. I throw it in the car. That's been another thing that's been important is building your first aid kits. Like as much as your guns are important and stuff.
No, beans, bullets, and band-aids. You have to have food and water and all the secondary, tertiary things that go along with it. You need a way to defend those things. And then when you inevitably get hurt, because in the middle of the fucking Boogaloo or World War III or the zombies or whatever the fuck, a mere paper cut level thing that gets infected could literally take you out of the fight or kill you.
See, but okay, this is my thing.
What, Justin? Wait, hold on, Sarah. What,
Do you know why the tampon was invented?
Why?
To suck blood. To suck blood up, right?
The tampon was first invented as a bandage for battlefield bullet wounds.
Yeah.
And the original tampons that were being used to stick it in a fucking bullet wound, it expands, applies pressure, and absorbs blood.
Yeah.
They were also coated with cocaine because it was a topical anesthetic.
Tiger's blood.
You know, mommy loves that stuff. So
yeah,
it's all good.
we know. We know. She ain't got allergies. Always got the sniffles.
My nose is just always stuffed, guys.
Yeah,
My nose is just always stuffed.
With something.
Hey, but at least it cures COVID.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't had COVID or like bad COVID. So.
Dude,
do you know why cocaine kills COVID?
Send more pup pics.
Yeah, you told me because it was they mix it with something, and it's like
like almost all the cocaine in North America is cut with Levimethol because it's available over the counter at Tractor Supply, and it's a
or Isotol if you're in the hood.
Yeah, well, Levimethol is a horse dewormer. It's very similar to ivermectin.
Yeah.
Well, I just think like if you're doing that stuff, your nose is so fucked up anyways, it's not gonna fucking host the fucking virus. Like, come on. Like
that's why Forest Mommy's never been sick once.
In her life.
In her life. She's got the most tremendous immune system, believe me.
Yeah, just barn bottle
she
flu.
Does it bigly.
Yeah.
But
no, I got it.
I'm just like,
what are you gonna say, Sarah? Yeah, lay it out.
It was really like an actual apocalypse to the point where we're all gonna die. Like, why do people?
Oh, everybody's definitely gonna die. So nobody makes it off this rock alive.
So, like, why? So, what you people, the fucking anarchists on Twitter, are talking about like have 20,000 bullets ready, have all the like. Why do you want to stay alive so bad? Like, why? I don't get it. Just die.
Because it's just a matter of for one, I would argue, and I don't want to speak for them, but I would argue that it's in the least bit the principle of the matter of fact. Like, nah, fuck you, dude. And then two,
I'm gonna take a couple out on the way out.
And right. You take one, you're even. You take more than yourself. That's a win in my book. But and two, there's always that hope. Without hope, we've got nothing to look forward to, right? So if there's that hope of rebuilding or something, because there's how many nations and civilizations have been war torn throughout the years and have rebuilt or are still existing but still war torn. What I mean, people like
even like the Middle East. The America made the Middle East worse. They were cool before.
I got a joke for you. I got a joke for you that I think perfectly exemplifies the American nihilism about survival in the apocalypse situation. So an American, a Brit, and a Japanese guy are off on a safari through the jungle together, and they get captured by a band of cannibals. And the chief of the band of cannibals says, "Hey, we're going to eat you, and then we're going to use your skin to make a canoe. But it's not all that bad. You get to decide how you die." The Japanese guy goes first. He says, "I'd like a sword." They bring him a sword. He seppukas for honor and kills himself.
Right, for his family.
Yeah. The British guy says, "I'd like a gun." They bring him a gun.
They can't even have those over there.
"God save the Queen," pops himself. The American guy says, "I'd like a fork." They get confused, but whatever. So they bring him a fork. And the American just starts stabbing himself in the legs and the arms and the stomach, all over his body. 20 minutes ago, he's just still stabbing himself, and the chief's getting frustrated. He's like, "What are you doing?" And the American just looks up at the chief and says, "Fuck your canoe."
Yeah. Yeah. No, but that's just for real though, because like, and that's an idea that I respect, because if I cannot change a situation, but I'm getting fucked regardless, I might as well fuck them back,
Right?
You know, because so I mean, that's where I'm at with it. So and it is what it is. But there's an awakening that's been happening. Yeah, with the fucking cactus infused fucking AIDS dick. But the fucking
back, right?
Force Mommy, I love you so much. You're fucking adorable.
love
You're
you.
so
I love
fucking with the glasses and the glizzies, dude. Glassesandglizzies.com. Log on for exclusive content.
Martha says not tampons, cups. It's a girl's thing. No, the tampons
Cups.
are the bullet wounds.
The
Oh,
tampons
hell
are good.
no.
And I thought like having tampons and I mean whatever feminine products, those is almost as like
Yeah, but how many
important
tampons do you both
hopefully
y'all?
not much more. I'm so old. Hopefully it fucking stops.
You're not
soon.
a day over fucking 27. Shut up,
Shut
Forrest. Now, if you were in the
up.
bar right
Stop
now, you know how many Long
it.
Island iced teas I would be purchasing you?
Stop
Shut the fuck
it.
up.
You know I can be fucking Sarah's mom for fuck's sake.
No, she really could, for real.
We
That-
figured
dude.
it out.
People
I
are
could
into
be her
that, dude.
mom.
Little mother daughter. People are into that. I think
Yeah,
you
we
guys
could probably-
you could
we could
definitely
probably do
monetize
that.
that.
My mom is
If
only
people would
48.
pay, if people would pay enough, we would maybe do that. Let's just say that.
Facts.
Is everyone okay for staying
I'm
on? Is
good.
everyone good?
I'm good.
I'm here.
Come on, like
Hey,
I'm
my
playing
mom
with
is only
guns.
48, so
Yeah, you were born. How old
I
was
don't
your
know,
mom
'cause
when
I'm
you were
adopted.
born, Justin?
16.
Oh,
Nice.
that's this.
It's true. Like all my friends who had like kids when we were still in high school, they're so like their kids are like old now and they're hot and they're young and I'm like, that's where that whole like that's where the whole argument comes in and I'm like, you can't fuck with it because you just can't fuck with that age of consent argument. But like, let's face it,
I could
Of course,
never.
mommy's thinking about her friend's kids.
Right.
when
Right.
when you're younger, the younger you are when you have a baby, the longer you have to bounce back, you know? Like
Why
that's
do you
so
have a
shallow. I'm so shallow about
Shit
it.
around
So.
your gun.
Dude, what are you?
I put my pearl necklace around it.
Even her Glock is bougie.
Just one of them. The other one I don't. The other one I don't. Dude, this was so little. This is why I need a 43, but this is just a 27. But I need.
I got the 26 right here.
See,
you printed the 43, didn't you?
Well, I printed a bunch of shit.
I'm
This is
a
a
fan
real
for the Smith &
26.
Wesson Shield.
Oh,
right.
please. Smith & Wesson Shield.
The lifetime warranty is impeccable. It's cheaper than a Glock, and they lost a lawsuit to Glock for stealing the patent.
Yeah.
So it's the same fucking gun.
Well,
as a Glock. The Smith & Wesson.
No, this is the thing. The Smith & Wesson
I don't
Shield
know
is a great.
anything about guns, to be honest.
Smith & Wesson Shield is a great gun.
I feel
It
they
is a great
protect my
gun.
ass.
It's
They
a great
protect my
gun.
motherfucking
But
ass.
I mean, there's the Glock 43, right? It's a Glock 43 with a Terran
I want a
tactical
Glock
extended
43.
base plate. Then you could go to the Glock 26, which is the double stack 9mm baby Glock. The same thing as Forrest Mommy has, but hers is a 40 cal. She's more of a man than I am.
Yeah, the 20. Look how little it is. It's so little.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Mine's
it's a
got a
40
Viridian
cal.
laser on there that they sent me. Shout out to Viridian. But then you could just put the stendo in it. You could do it. It's like worldstarhiphop.com. You just do one of these
But it has
things.
to
You'd
be
be all right.
40 cal.
Yeah, but you could do it. I got the 357 SIG, which I could convert to a 40 cal. I got a barrel for it. This is a Ghost Glizzy that I built. Shout out to Faxon for sending out the barrel and the comp. But this is untraceable, and this is a 9mm though. But yeah, exactly. Science, dude.
Untraceable.
You know.
I'm glad you have guns, Sarah. Though I'm glad you're a gun girl.
I mean, no comment on how many I have, but I have guns.
Yeah.
That's
But
it.
the thing is, like, you want people to know you have them because it's like, then you're not going to, like, the people who had doxed me at the early 2020, at the first, like, I wanted them to fucking know I have guns. So you can fucking dox me all you want, but I have fucking guns. So whatever. Come after me more.
Yeah, I just
like,
live in New Hampshire and people just assume here.
Right.
Yeah, you guys
well,
are,
people
it's
should
all
assume
rural.
everywhere because I mean, nobody with, for one, the technology with the 3D printing shit and the P80 shit. I live in Illinois and not that far from fucking Chirac, and every day they are catching more of these bangers with either 3D printed fucking switches or Wish.com ass switches, and them fucking shits actually work. Like, you cannot stop the signal, dude. Like, everybody's got guns everywhere.
Where do most of the inner city people get their? Are they printing their guns? In the
Well,
inner
there's
city?
people doing polymer 80 shit. There's people that are just stealing the guns, whether it's out of a vehicle or out of a fucking
Brazilian knockoffs that are just smuggled across the border.
It's probably the
there's
cops.
a lot of shit.
Probably
There's
American cops
there's a
are
lot of
giving
fucking
them
shit.
guns.
Dude, the Fast and Furious, the fucking all of them shits, the CIA, fucking Mexican cartels, like all that shit, dude. The fucking
I don't get how people don't get that. I'm like, listen, the most strong gun laws there are, that's where the most fucking bad guns
because an
there
armed
are.
society is a polite society. If you think that little old lady might have a fucking pea shooter in her fucking
You're not
purse,
gonna fuck
then
with
you're
her.
gonna think twice before you fucking go and try and snag it, because she might cap your ass, and it might be a little 22 or a 25 or a 380, but I'm not gonna fucking stand in front of it.
I don't give a shit.
You know,
It's
I mean,
something better than nothing.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. And the FMDA shit, the 3D printing shit, free men don't ask permission, that also goes for women. Like
I gotta print my Barbie Glock somehow.
You do have to print your Barbie
Glock.
Glock. I don't know. You're sleeping. That thing is still fucking sitting disassembled on the floor somewhere, probably.
No, it works. We did the test prints. It works. I just gotta figure out how to move files from my computer, whatever.
With an SD card?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to figure out the SD card shit. You guys don't
really
know
are
how
boomers.
old and retarded I am, so.
You're just a bougie boomer.
Bougie boomers, like, share, comment, subscribe. That's the B channel, dude. It's just you and a bunch of your friends fucking pretentiously pontificating about whatever the fuck.
But we fucking like guns to protect ourselves, so.
Yeah. Everybody.
I don't even know. Like I said, I don't even know how many fucking Glocks we have. I pulled out this one. I didn't even know we had a. What is this one? A 17. We have a 19 and a 22 and a 17 and a.
I don't know anything about the fucking guns and shit. Like, I don't know.
This is how you get. This is how you
know how
get
to shoot
followers.
one? You ain't got to know
gun
how.
shit.
Yeah, it's all about the gun porn.
Tactical's friends always chat with me on my. I love it though. I love them. They're good dudes. So.
Yeah, we
Is
try.
everyone still awake? So I'm really awake right now.
No, I'm good. I'm just. I'm curious about how Hannah is gonna react to this live
Tell her
stream.
to come back on, dude. We could hear about it live.
The thing is, if she is actually genuinely upset with me for having.
Who was Hannah? Was Hannah the other one that was on Forest Mommy's stream before?
No, Hannah is like my best friend. And so if she is genuinely upset with this being 4 hours, I will like cut it and
I can't see her being upset.
Well, the real question is, if it's a free StreamYard account, it's a free StreamYard account, they limit how many hours you get a month.
Per month, But if you're, because you got the logo. But this is the thing. If you're only going, what do? It's like a live podcast basically for an hour or two.
It's just a live stream, yeah.
For an hour or two. Yeah. You get like 20 something hours a month. Cause I do that. I used to pay for the shit. I used to pay for the shit and it never fucking I never like ran out, and I'd be going forever. My streams go fucking forever.
I paid for a year of StreamYard.
I will literally like cut this shit off of live, but right now I'm just enjoying us hanging out and like having people come on and hang out. And
I love you, Sarah. I fucking I for real fucking love you.
No,
like, I love you.
You're literally like my mother.
Oh my god,
I love her. We met, we hung out, and like we had so much fun in Arizona. Like
literally like Forest Mommy is everything I've aspired to be in my life, and so
dude,
I just
look at the hair. Look at the hair with the glasses. This needs another meme. I fucking love it with the cheetah print, dude. Like you're fucking.
I know. I went cheetah print. This is like mommy, and I had a pearl necklace on, but I broke it.
Ma, you're like a smoldering fire, because bitch, you're smoking.
Literally.
she's like, I gotta fuck.
I love you. A lot of people like me.
We can go as long as you guys want. Hannah can yell at me tomorrow, and she's my best friend. And
dude, I think the only reason Hannah should have a reason to yell at you tomorrow is because she's jealous that she missed out on the fun. That's where I'm at.
And Hannah's
thing.
It wasn't her. Hannah comes from one of her dad was a cop or something, right? Like she comes from that.
I don't know about that. I can't comment on that because
I feel like that. So she understands like. People were like, you understand the whole like I don't know, it's such a weird world because Mr. Forrest Mommy was a cop too for a while, and it's like you understand that whole you want to like help society and like help society be better, you know.
I was a cop
And
for a hot minute.
yeah, you've been all fucking around the world, Justin. You've been
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
this is
when I
like,
got out of the army, it was like, hey, what the fuck can I do? Infantry.
wait, you
What
were in
what
the
skills does
army?
that translate to? Oh,
he
cop.
was like we were talking about, Sarah. He was in the army when we were talking about like not after 9/11 and all that shit.
Right.
Wild.
I don't
It's so
know.
wild.
I'm retarded. And like, it does upset me a little bit because like Liberty Twitter thinks that I'm just like actually retarded. And so like I do play into that part of like I'm just retarded, but like at the end of the day, like we were talking about earlier, like I just don't fucking know. Like this has never been anything that I have had to know or been concerned about. And so it's just like I just don't know.
What did I
Yeah,
miss?
what do
You
you
don't
think?
know if
What's your
you don't
take
know.
on Ukraine, Justin? Because you've been kind of involved with all this
Yeah.
shit over the years.
Putin. So everyone thought Putin was just going to run through Ukraine, and like Putin even said that it would be 24 hours until they had control over all of Ukraine. They expected to have air superiority in the first 6 hours of the campaign. They still don't have air superiority. They've lost 7 fighter jets over Kiev, 3 other jets elsewhere in the country. They've lost over 20 helicopters. Entire Russian convoys are burning.
All
and they've
Russians
taken
lost all those helicopters?
Yeah, and the Russians have had so many casualties that they're not even retrieving their dead. Reuters is doing a photo series right now where they're showing the same bodies 24 hours apart. The Russians are just leaving their dead on the battlefield. They've had over 3,000 casualties in the first 48 hours, 3,000 killed in the first 48 hours of the conflict. Like everyone forgets that the last time Russia fought a war wasn't even that long ago. It was in 2008 they invaded Georgia, which is a country the size of Maine that has a military budget smaller than a Marine Corps battalion's beef jerky supply. And they didn't win. Georgia fought them to a draw. Everyone thought Russia's this big kind of superpower that was just going to roll over Ukraine, but the Ukrainian people are fighting for their fucking lives, fighting for their homes, and they're on TikTok. It's fucking mind blowing. There was a live stream on TikTok. I was scrolling through my lunch where a fucking Russian paratrooper is live streaming their fucking jump, and then they're fucking Russians trying to do TikTok dances in the fucking convoy and got ambushed with Molotov cocktails. Kids were literally getting killed on the fucking live stream, and then you keep scrolling, and then there's Ukrainian teenagers live streaming the ambushes as they're throwing Molotov cocktails at Russians, and they're just fucking killing them. Russia's not winning this. They're gaining territory just by momentum and raw numbers alone because they invaded with 190,000 troops, but they just had to activate their reserves. They're activating Chechen reserves from the east, pulling reserves out of Siberia to try and go shore up face. Russia is losing this fight. It is not going well for them. And if it goes too long, it's going to turn into their Afghanistan.
Well, okay, so that's what I was saying like earlier on the stream. It was like I was like 4 when the fucking Iraq and whatever war started. You know what I mean? So I feel like because I have grown up in a very like privileged lifestyle, and I will admit it, I have no issue admitting it, but I have never had a reason to worry about foreign affairs and shit. And like I said, when Iraq started, I was 4 years old. And so now this is the first time in my life that I have ever felt the need to be like, oh, wait, maybe I should like take a second and see what's going on. And like, I have no fucking idea what's going on. And I'm not trying to say it to be like, oh, I'm stupid, like it's silly, cute, and quirky. Like, yes, I play that part up on my Twitter, but like, I genuinely have no idea.
We don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. I remember I was 18, like fucking barely out of high school, and like that summer went to basic, got out of basic, like, haha, you're deploying. I'm like, well, fuck me. And then like later on that summer, we were on a base in Iraq with Georgians and other NATO forces, and we had to evacuate a base in Iraq to help the Georgians get back to Georgia because Russia had invaded Georgia. And like 6 weeks later, they came back to Iraq because they beat Russia.
Yeah.
That
Like-
being said, though, fights are lost by underestimating opponents, and at the same time, the whole thing is how do we know? And I've got enough tinfoil under my hat for the lot of us,
That's
I would
me
say.
too. I'm so
But
like,
the fucking but like, how do we know that anything, I mean, realistically, and it sounds fucking gay frogs and all, but like, how do we know that not all of this is some fucking deep fake?
We
Not
like
that
gay
there's
frogs
definitely
here. We
there's
like gay
definitely
frogs.
Well,
shit
one,
I think
the
it's-
gay
there's
frogs
there's
is real.
definitely, yeah, no, for sure, 100%. But the fucking, there's definitely shit going on, right? But how much of it is orchestrated? How much of I guarantee you 110% that our own government has been involved in this to begin with, and this is a propaganda pushing false flag that's kind of sort of real though. So I mean,
agree.
so like that's where it falls, because if we get involved, then we're going to be in another forever war. If we don't get involved, some even more fucked up shit is going to happen, and then we look weak as fuck. But I mean, look at who we've become anyway. We've given up so much in the past couple of years between the fucking scamdemic, mostly peaceful protesting, and the completely and totally fair, non-rigged election. Everybody is finally just given up because we've gotten too fucking lazy, comfortable, and complacent. Nobody wants to stand up, speak out, or do what it fucking takes to gain back ground. And that's fine and all, but don't be mad when you're fucking first one on the train cars to the FEMA camps, bitch. Like, it's not... like, people got to understand that this is not a joke. Like, this is not like we all do it to escape and shit, and like there's some nice spicy memes or whatever, but like, this is reality, motherfuckers. Like, we might be plugged in through virtually right now, but like, when we close the laptop and walk away, our lives are dependent on what the fuck is going on in the world, and people are so quick to just disregard reality because they have to be responsible for themselves. They have to be aware of what's going on and informed, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to be held accountable. Everybody gets a trophy. Nobody
How
has
can you
to
trust? And how can you trust it?
I don't
How can
know.
you
And that's the
trust
thing,
it?
because there's so many reports of misinformation going back and forth as part of the war between Ukraine and Russia, and then our own government. You can't you turn on the TV. If you're getting your information from the TV, it's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's how do you know? Like, it could all, there might even literally, and this sounds fucking crazy, and I don't believe this to be the case, but literally, with the technology that exists, which we don't even know about, we're not even aware about, the government shit, and fucking, they say China's already 10, 20 years ahead of us with technology all the time.
So,
like, there is no way that
here's the wild
this
part.
can't be crazy. Like, this
we
is
are
fucked.
we are 72 hours into the war, and this is what Russia claims they've conquered so far.
Right.
Almost
All the red
nothing.
stuff.
Yeah,
right.
Almost fucking nothing.
But at the same time, they might be testing the waters to see what we're going to do if they're not in cahoots to begin with. The only thing of concern
is right here. This battle right here has been the only thing of concern in the entire fucking war so far for anybody outside of Ukraine. That's Chernobyl. And a Russian missile cracked the containment dome on Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Yeah, a Russian missile cracked the containment dome on Chernobyl during the fucking battle, and Polish and Belarusian authorities are saying that they're detecting massive increases in radiation levels.
Well, like, okay,
this is let's bring on the radiation. I'm down.
Do you even got a fucking pill jar full of iodine tablets or a gas mask or a Tyvek suit, mama? Come on.
If I get iodine.
Because of a nuclear attack, then just like, let me die, because I don't want to be.
But you should still want to go fuck them up because of it, though. That's the thing. That's what we need. We need more people to just be like, no, fuck you. Because that's the thing. They are afraid of that. That is why they, in every scenario throughout history, that you have to disarm the populace first, because without that, like, there are people that will fight back just out of pure spite alone. And that is dangerous, because those people have nothing to lose and they can be effective. And like, people would argue we got our asses handed to us in goddamn Vietnam, like guerrilla warfare and shit like that. People that really believe in something, which I like to think that we, the people here in this goddamn country, do to some extent, or at least we used to, and we might fuck around and find ourselves becoming nostalgic in days to come. I think that regardless, you go down swinging. I'm not going to be one of those dudes on the beach with ISIS behind me with a 12 gauge. Like, I'm going to get up, I'm going to fucking headbutt them, I'm going to kick them in the nuts, I'm going to bite their ear off, and yeah, they're going to kill me, but they're going to remember my ass. Like, and that's what it takes, because the more that they remember that, hey, you fuck around and you step on that snake, you get bit. it keeps them at bay, gives us more time. So that we need more
But why are you,
participation
like,
in
so
people
willing to
exercising
die?
freedom. You're gonna die regardless.
But
Everybody
why are
dies.
you so willing to die? I suppose, but it's like, for me, it's like, bro, they've been fucking locking me up for the past 2 years, and then
Well,
I'm
you know,
supposed
think
to
about
go
it this
out
way.
there and
So-
defend
so-
their freedom. Like, fuck you, you didn't even give me my freedom. Like, fuck you.
No, listen.
For everybody who's
Why am
freedom
I
is
going
a
to go out and
choice.
defend my country that doesn't
Listen.
even give me the freedom I want? Like,
Don't
freedom
defend
is
the
a
country,
choice.
defend yourself.
Freedom is a choice. That's the thing. And nobody locked you down. You allowed yourself to be, and I'm not coming at you. I love you. I appreciate you. You're hilarious. You're adorable. But like you choose to do the thing. Nobody held a gun to your head and made you stay home from work or stay in the house or wear a mask or get a vaccine or any of that shit at the end of the day. And that's just the pure, plain, cold, simple facts. And everybody's got reasons as to why they do things. And I don't judge anybody for anything. But and with freedom, there's no reward without risk. And freedom is not free. And somebody's got to chip it on the tab once in a while. And it might be you. It might be me. It might be her or him or whatever. But you chose to do or not do certain things because they told you couldn't. Just because they told you couldn't, if that's repugnant to inalienable rights given to you by your creator or whoever the fuck, like you're just existing as a human being, everybody has these natural rights. If those things are going against those rights, they're repugnant and therefore null and void. So you might receive consequences for living freely, but at least you lived free. Nobody can tell you what to do if you choose not to let them.
To go and to die and defend a country that made me fucking
the country.
You're not even fighting for the country. You're fighting for yourself. You're fighting for the idea, the principle. You're fighting for the people that you love and care about. Because what happens if they are trying to hurt people that you love and care about? You are one more gun in the fight. You might make the difference. You might be able to save the day, as it were. And so that's the ever dying spirit of, go fuck yourself. No, not at all. It's hopefully it never ever once even has to come to that, because if we see any type of crazy shit like that here in this country, imagine all the other motherfuckers that hate us. So while we're bickering back and forth amongst each other, everyone else is going to come and fucking rape us too. So that would be a shit show, and somebody would be letting off the doomsday device and everybody's dead. So, but at the same time, even if that ends up being the case, at least the way that I look at it is, again, you might as well go down swinging. It is what it is. And if you're bringing that to my front door, I'll answer that bitch, So, I mean, that's just what it is. Like, it's not, and that's just like the idea of living free, because living free, there are consequences to doing so in today's day and age, because society, the government, which is supposed to work for us and be of us and for us, but somehow those roles got so reversed. It's not even funny. I don't know. It's scary to see how comfortable and complacent people have become, and how freely and willingly they give up their rights that are the only things that they truly have left. We are slaves. Just because we can't see the cage does not mean that we aren't free. Like, the home of the free, land of the free, and the home of the brave, and hoorah, shish kumbah, but nobody's acting like it. And that's the problem. That's where we're going to get fucked over. Is America is no longer America, only by name. And people got to figure it out.
Like, why am I defending fucking America when America fucking locked me down for 2 years and made me lose my job? Like, fuck you, America.
America is not the federal government. America is the people. It's the spirit. It's the idea, because America was built on the idea of true freedom. And so back then, I don't know when it started going downhill and where we started gaining back infringements that we once fought and died for to be free from. But, let's say day one after 1776, like that, as free as can be type of thing. Like that, people have lost sight of that. And because people have lost sight of that, and it's death by 1,000 paper cuts, and every year that goes by, there's more infringement on your rights. There's less free speech. There's all fucking... Is there a wiretap going on? What the fuck is going on? Like, this is open to the public, feds. Like, you guys don't have to, like, you could just, I'm sure there's more efficient ways.
Like, I know.
But yeah. The
I
fuck,
don't know.
Like, you're
yeah,
not
yeah,
defending the country. Fuck the
yeah.
country. Fuck, like, I'm not a nationalist. I identify as an anarcho-nihilist because I'm a fucking anarchist who doesn't give a shit. Fuck the rest of it. I'll defend what's on my block. I'll defend my neighbors. I'll defend my family, the people who I fucking care about. But most importantly, I'll defend myself. And that's what fucking matters. And that's what's interesting to see to me now. Like, these kids in fucking Ukraine, like the TikTokers, most of them are ethnically Russian. They don't speak Ukrainian. They speak fucking Russian, but they're still fucking throwing Molotov cocktails on Russian tanks. They're still picking up AKs and gunning down fucking Russians because they're defending themselves. Most of them don't give two fucks about Ukraine.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't either, though. Like, I don't know what the fuck is happening in Ukraine.
It
Right,
does
but like, if
affect
it
us,
were to
though.
happen here, I wouldn't give two fucks about the United States. I would give even maybe a little fuck about New Hampshire, but I'd give a whole lot less fucks about the United States. But if
Yeah.
there were tanks rolling down my street and they were fucking putting fucking shells through small businesses in my fucking neighborhood, if they were running over cars of my neighbors and my friends, yeah, I would defend my community and the people I care about. But fuck the country. I wouldn't fly the flag.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
about all
that's just how
that
I
because
feel.
those people from the town over might be the type of people that would help you out when you need it most. And so, you know, the reciprocity of it all, you know, it's yes, of course, just like with politics. No, I agree. Just with like politics, the grassroots, the local shit is what matters the most. And that is where you are most effective, 110%. And I'm all for fuck the state, fuck the government, fuck the idea of the country that we are all a bunch of fucking sheeple and slaves underneath the powers that should not be, who laugh at us from their very tall ivory towers. I'm all for that.
Right.
But
Yeah, but the farther away
people,
it
though,
gets from my house, the farther away it
is
gets
what's
from
worth
me
it to
and
me.
my family, the less I care.
Yeah,
And I
for
don't
sure.
feel bad about not
For
caring.
sure. But at the same time, though, without other humans, though, what the fuck? What is the point? Like, that's what makes all of this splendid. That's what all makes this work. That's what all makes
I
this.
don't know. Sometimes I
the
think
idea.
Ted Kaczynski was onto something.
Yeah. I mean, people suck for sure, but there's a lot of good people out there too. And so if you just want to surround yourself with good people, that's one thing. But there's a lot of good people. Like you guys are far away from me geographically speaking, but you guys seem like good people. Like I wouldn't mind having you guys around. So I care about what happens where you're at or what's going on with you or whatever the fuck. Cause like you're good people and you believe in something and you're willing to do something about it. And I respect that. So that's where I'm coming from. Like you don't want to cut those ties or burn those bridges because those people may become an asset down the line and even more so just a homely, welcoming feeling after a long day out in the fucking boogaloo or whatever the fuck's going on. You know, like there's good people all over the place, and those are the people that are worth fighting for, in my opinion.
Well, that's why I choose to live in an intentional community. That's where I choose to live in a community where I am surrounded by people who share my politics and my moral structure and share my moral code and view the world through the same lens that I do, because those are people that I can form those meaningful, lasting relationships with where I actually fucking care about them. Like I don't go to a fucking grocery store. I get a fucking meat delivery from a local farm once a month.
And
I
that's
don't
awesome
and
delicious.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. And she's great. And guess what? Fucking my entire community's true bug out plan is we all have assigned plots on her farm to pitch a tent for the fucking short term. She and that's well and previously negotiated, but she's only extended that invitation to people she knows have put in the work to keep the farm running. And that's why we have this tight-knit community. Sarah says people give Sarah shit for living in the Bay Area. Why do you live in the Bay Area if you like liberty? It's a lot of free staters who give you that shit. People in New Hampshire, because we're fucking spoiled. Because like we look at it as like, yeah, why would you live somewhere where you're not surrounded by people who share your moral reality?
Some people don't have that option.
Yeah.
You know, like say it's not practical for everybody to just pick up and leave everything they know, everything they have, their family,
Sure.
their friends, you know, and again, that's so discriminatory that people like just because they live somewhere else cannot believe the same way that you do, just because you have the luxury. If anything, it's easier for people to believe in freedom in the more free states. So it's not even that much of a badge of honor. You get people that are in California or New Yorkistan or wherever the fuck, and everybody is against you. You are the odd one out. You are the ugly duckling. You are against the grain.
Yeah.
And that's more respectable to me than people just going with the flow. Oh yeah, we're all cool because we're all together and we're strong in numbers, but you get them individually and then they start compromising. So I'm just looking for consistency across the board with the people in this country, and we need to at least agree on freedom for everybody. You might not want to exercise certain freedoms. You don't want to own guns, fine, but don't fucking call somebody with one when the fucking shit hits the fan. Like, whatever it is.
There's an interesting counterpoint there. I look at freedom, I look at liberty, I look at the people who embrace a freedom mentality and the values of freedom and liberty, and I think it's a subset of the population, and it's a minority subset, and it always will be a minority subset. And I think the reason is because it depends on your moral framework. People like us who value freedom, who value liberty, who we look at things through this lens of a moral structure where we value individuals and their liberty and their freedom and their responsibility, because it's your responsibility to protect your own freedom, protect your own liberty, and to care for yourself. You can't impose on someone else to care for you. Not everyone shares that. Some people, and I think the majority of people, are collectivists by nature because they have a moral framework where they care more about the collective than the individual. I think we are the oddballs out. We are the oddballs. We are the minority, and we will always be the minority. And if we don't look at eventually trying to coalesce, get together, and look at migration, then I don't think there's a positive outlook for liberty as a whole in the country, because I don't think there's enough people who have that base moral grounding to embrace liberty and freedom as the principles they want to fight.
And I feel that I really do a whole lot, because I've been doing this ever since I could remember doing this, like just existing. Like I've always had an issue with authority, like I've fuck them, and like I've always like what's right is right, even if other people that are supposedly making the rules say it's wrong, type of thing. And I've always had that outlook, and I've been talking to people and doing things and living my life as best as I can to agree with that for the longest time. And everybody wants to talk about the silent majority. And I've been preaching the fucking good word of the silent majority finally standing up and speaking the fuck out for once in their goddamn lives for years. And it doesn't seem like they want to. But then again, you get a little bit of encouragement here and there. You see something and you hear something, and there's people organizing, there's people talking, there's people standing up doing stuff. But is it enough? Will it ever be enough? And I agree with surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, because it will most likely be more prosperous in the long run. But at the same time, if you don't have as many like-minded individuals in your community as the rest of the people, what's to say that you don't get fucking Ukrained or whatever? So
Right.
I mean, there's a fine line between everything, and I like to hold out the hope that people will. I can't believe that it's taking even this much, that people are still driving around with 18 pairs of gloves on, 37 masks, have been injected by microchips and baby fetuses fucking 15 times already, whatever. And by all means, do you, whatever the fuck, believe, live free. That's the best part about freedom, is you get to choose. And I can't be mad at you for choosing what you choose. And that's fine. Just don't be mad when I choose some shit. That's all I'm asking. Everybody just fucks off, and we could all get along. But that's too much for people. Everybody's got to be involved. If you're going to be involved in the greater good, in the aspect of, hey, we all have these, we can agree. How could people not agree on the simple common law, morality, and just rights and freedoms that just a living, breathing, existing thing has? Because it's even in just selfish reasons alone, that you're fighting for yourself. Why are people just like here? Like, that's what I don't understand, and that's what we need to fix.
Their moral framework, where the fuck it is about them as people, they don't agree. I think
You froze.
Yeah,
we just
I don't know.
nuked.
Yeah, right. Maybe. Where the fuck did Force Mommy go? Am I good? Because you froze for me for a little bit.
You're good.
Okay.
But I do think we have to end in a second because we've been going over 3 hours and Hannah might kill me. But thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate it. It was great.
Yeah, you guys are always welcome on my shit too. I do it every
I know,
Sunday night.
Yeah, because I need to come on your shit. But
yeah,
we do have to end.
Correspondence
Everyone
shit.
say your closing goodbye.
Bye. I appreciate you guys having me. You guys are awesome. Keep doing your thing. Everybody out in the comment section, except for Mason, dude. Fuck Mason. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna end before Sarah gets 12 shots in. So,
Amen.
I
die on the street. We'll see you guys.
Okay, bye guys.